The weather is sponsored by Artistic Decks. It is sunny and 66 degrees downtown. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Kick off summer this Memorial Day with Artistic Decks. We're celebrating with American-style value and rolling back prices on every precision-built deck. Get the backyard you've always wanted. Call 314-280-0821. Artistic Decks, making dreams affordable.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Mark Scores, The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good morning, friends. We are happy to have you with us on this beautiful Wednesday morning. It is May 13th. It is Amy and Chris with you until 12 o'clock, then the Gas House Gang. 314-436-7900 to jump into the show today. Offer your thoughts by texting and calling. You can offer your voice thoughts by leaving a voice message on the Odyssey app. And that app is how you listen to KMOX Live. You can listen to all the Odyssey stations live there. And Cardinals baseball tonight. They will play again, and you can listen in on the app. Also, if you want to watch the show, do that too. On Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, we are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
Yeah, it's May 13th, so we are a couple of days away from the one-year mark of the May 16th tornado. We're going to get a look in at North City and see how the recovery is going today. We're going to talk to one of the volunteers and survivors.
And Mayor Kara Spencer calls the police board's lawsuit against the city an attempt to squeeze every last penny from the city of St. Louis.
And the Cardinals last night, they outlast the Athletics on the road. They're going to play again tonight, and you're going to have to stay up late again. Sorry to let you know. 7:45 first pitch on 104.1 FM, or excuse me, the pregame show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the Odyssey app. And then first pitch is at 8:40 tonight. So have a late night coffee.
There you go. Hey, we are, May 16th is approaching. That is the 1-year anniversary of the tornado that devastated so much of St. Louis. And we've got a couple of things you'll want to hear. One, in just a few minutes, Maria Kina interviewed a mother and daughter yesterday, and incredible about them surviving the tornado. Literally, the daughter being ripped out of the car and surviving the tornado. So we're going to play a tease of that at 9:15. We're also going to speak with Carol Lenhoff Bell. She's a Clayton High School teacher who has been working with Allie Rand in the Academy neighborhood of North City, helping with tornado recovery efforts there. And Ronj, it's really incredible, the grassroots efforts that we've seen from neighbors like Carol and Allie, because as we talked about with when it comes to city help, state funds, emergency funds, FEMA, federal funds, it can get really bogged down and really slow. And so neighbors have been on the ground donating Home Depot gift cards, helping with the demolition themselves. And that is one thing that has been in the news today, this week, Ronj, is the demolition. Because when you are knocking down these buildings in North City, and some of them were condemned and empty anyway. In fact, some, I think it was, of the buildings that are currently marked for demolition by the city, 75% of them had been condemned or abandoned before the tornado hit. Mm-hmm. So then the tornado hits the homes where there are families living. And so the city's going in to knock down these buildings, but they're so old, Ronj, that there's, asbestos. There could be mold. Who knows what's flying around? So it's not easy. You can't just go in with a bulldozer and tear these buildings down without having a very careful method of trying to mitigate all of the toxic, dust that could be flying about, the asbestos and mold. We talked about it with the Millennium Building.
Yeah.
Why they have to be so careful knocking that down.
Older building and not as old as many of these homes that were destroyed with the tornado. And if you were listening to the news just right before this started, you heard Debbie talking about the demolition taking place in the Ville neighborhood yesterday on Martin Luther King Drive. and today they've moved over to San Francisco Avenue. So it's an ongoing effort, and I know residents are, and who wouldn't be, frustrated because they feel like there hasn't been enough movement in the right direction, that the recovery is taking a little too long. And this is something we said, and I admit it's easy from where I am because I did not live in a place that was affected by the tornado. So it is a lot. My needs are not desperate at the moment. And there are people who have felt desperate for a year because of this. And so they feel like there just isn't enough help that's happening, even though there are a bunch of people doing everything they can, volunteers like Carol, who we're going to talk to at 10 o'clock. There are people on the ground who are trying to do what is necessary, but it needs real institutional help, and they feel like it's slow. And I would just say that while it may not be much of a, it probably doesn't feel like a consolation to hear that when the Joplin, Missouri tornado happened, that took years. Those folks took years to recover even there. Anytime a natural disaster of that magnitude rolls through, it isn't going to be done in a year.
Yeah.
It's going to take, and it was almost a decade before they were completely back in Joplin, Missouri.
Yeah. The amount of damage is staggering. So we know that like the tornado damaged more than 5,000 homes in St. Louis City, and at minimum 1,000 are so badly damaged that they'll need to be torn down. And as KSDK also looks at the buildings that I just mentioned, the 120 tornado damaged properties across North St. Louis that are now approved for demolition under a $10 million state-funded recovery program. Well, that program focuses on properties FEMA would not pay to demolish, including buildings, as I mentioned, that were already vacant, condemned, commercial, or owned by entities before the tornado struck. And then city officials said approximately 74% of the properties in the program were already vacant or condemned before the storm. So you're looking at even demolishing buildings. It's not like, okay, we've got the funds, let's go knock these buildings down. It's who owns these homes? Were these homes, condemned? Were these buildings condemned before the storm? Was there a family living in the building during the storm? Is the building savable? Did the family have insurance? What happens when you knock down the home? It is so complicated. There's so many layers here. And like I said, this is just looking at the 120 properties that have been approved for demolition when over 1,000 of the 5,000 homes damaged are so badly damaged that they need to be torn down.
It's awful. And I think this recovery is going to continue to be slow. And I don't know if the city is doing everything it can. I don't know that the state is doing everything that it can. Despite the talk early on, we had Josh Hawley, Senator Hawley, here on the ground in the days immediately after. We had Kara Spencer there. She's the mayor. Of course, she's going to be there. But I don't know that there's a way to satisfy everybody when it comes to this. That doesn't mean that more can't be done on the local level and the state level. But let's again remember the city we live in. This is, even though we have the windfall of cash from, I guess you could call it a windfall of cash from the Rams settlement, this is not a wealthy city. St. Louis proper, there's money in it, but there's not a ton of it. And the tax base is not particularly large. So it's not like we have unlimited resources to be able to clean up all of that and do everything that we need to do in the city on top of it. And there's a lot that needs to be done here anyway. Yeah, a lot needs to be done. And a lot of this, even exactly the best way to execute all of it, is above my pay grade. And while I know, just from the reporting that we've seen, that there are residents who are glad to see some of those dangerous, condemned, crumbling buildings go down, right? I mean, they're a blight on the neighborhood to have abandoned, condemned buildings. They're also concerned about how they come down because, as I mentioned, asbestos, mold, lead, all of those particles are floating around in the air. You have to spray it down. Be very careful with that. And as we mentioned before the tornado,
North St. Louis was a focus for leaders and activists to say, hey, we need to pour money into North St. Louis and develop it. Okay, maybe now we can at least get some of that focus into North St. Louis. My concern, though, is the families. I don't want the families that are displaced to never be able to go back. Like, if you knock down their homes, are you going to...
They should have the option of coming
being
back.
built?
Yeah.
Are you going to develop it? Is it just knock it down and then years go by? You don't want it to become abandoned. You don't want it to become, I've heard comparisons to the lower Ninth Ward, Hurricane Katrina, how it devastated neighborhoods that never bounced back.
Yeah, and I don't remember exactly what it looked like when I was younger, but I've taken Jefferson, into the city, I don't know, thousands of times. From Granite City, because you cross the McKinley Bridge, you come over into Jefferson, onto Jefferson, and then you make your way into the city. And I've taken that trip, I don't know how many times, and there are just so many plots of land that are wide open, where businesses, buildings, homes used to be, and there's nothing. And I know they've built the geospatial place, so that is a development that is happening in the area, but there are still a lot of homes that are damaged and doesn't look like anybody lives in them, and there's a house right next door where people do live. That's just one area of North St. Louis. It's all over. And there are so many different other places in North St. Louis that are just like what I'm describing. And it's not just because of the tornado. It's aside from that. So hopefully there will be some movement in that area. But I think for what this city needs, not just on the north side, but downtown that we talk about all the time, we're talking billions. We need billions in investment, not $250 million. It's just not going to do it. Hopefully it gets done. Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji here on KMOX. When we come back, Amy mentioned Maria Kina's piece, talking to tornado survivors, and we're going to tease that. We're going to bring you a little bit of that. It is a long piece that is going to air tomorrow night from 6 until 8 o'clock, and we're going to give you a taste of it when we come back on KMOX.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air, and we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer. Haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs, attorneys, and for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service. Classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
We continue discussing the tornado recovery efforts that are now almost a year in after the May 16th tornado. And we want to remind you that tomorrow from 6 until 8 o'clock tonight, or tomorrow night, there is a really good retrospective that the newsroom has put together. All of our anchors and reporters are on it, and especially Maria Kina, who has a long interview with two of the tornado survivors, Tina and Maya Grimes. And you're going to hear the entire interview. It's a much longer interview, but we wanted to bring you a piece of that today.
Dropping my brother off at school was just like a regular Friday, dropped him off at school, and then I decided to go get a car wash and go to the zoo because it just looked like a beautiful day outside. And then I went to the zoo and I grabbed some food and I was on my way home. And as I was on my way home, obviously the tornado struck. And there were trees, oak trees falling on both sides of the street down Union. And I was on the phone with my dad and he was telling me that there was a storm coming, but we didn't know it was a tornado. And so I was on my way home just about 2 minutes from turning onto my street. And that's when everything kind of just struck. The street lights started going out and the trees started falling. And then it was kind of just chaos everywhere. And then it started to rain and my windows blew out. And then I was ejected from my car. And I slid 40 yards down Union. And then I crawled to a light post on the side of the street because I was thinking if my body flew down the street, then probably my car could too, so I had to get out the way. So then I held on to a light post until I turned around and there was an ambulance that I was able to flag down to get to safety.
Did you have a seatbelt on?
Yeah, I had my seatbelt on and I was still ejected.
What did it feel like?
It felt like an extreme vacuum that kind of just sucked me out and then I was sliding down the road.
Do you remember what you were thinking? Like,
yeah, I was thinking like, I think I'm going to die. And I was just holding on to my steering wheel and I was screaming, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And all the way from the moment that I was holding on to the steering wheel to the light post, I was just trying to contact my friends, my family members, and just try to get in touch with anybody. But of course, the phone lines went down too when everything happened.
You got Mom on the phone.
So I had my purse around my body, and I was holding on to the light post, and I had got my phone out of my purse, and I was dialing all the numbers. And of course, it was raining, so it was wet and everything, and my phone cracked, and it was just pretty bad. But I was dialing numbers, and I got my mom, and she was out of state. And so I was saying, Mom, it's taking me, it's taking me, it's taking me. And I was just trying to reach my friends that had her number and just trying to figure out what to do next.
Mom, how horrifying for you.
So horrifying that even hearing her now say, Mom, it's taking me, it's taking me, it's taking me. Like, I get emotional every time she says that because I remember what it felt like being on the other end of the phone 500 miles away from her. And the irony is she was home from college because she had come home for Mother's Day. And I was in the city where she attends college on a book tour 500 miles from her. And to pick up the phone, and we talk all the time. So we had talked earlier that day. So I just assumed this was a normal, like, what are you doing? And there's nothing like hearing your child in distress and then not knowing what's going on. And then the words, it's taking me. So I'm screaming in the phone, what's taking you? What's taking you? So I'm in, they call me the calm in the storm, but I'm going, what's taking you? What's taking you? And she goes, the. And then the phone went dead.
Oh, my God.
So you can imagine, just like my heart drops now when I say it. Yeah, my heart dropped. I didn't know what it was. I mean, surely not a tornado.
Yeah. That's not what you would think it's
I would not think a tornado. So I just didn't know what it was, and I didn't really want to think about it because whatever it was still bad. But I just kept going, is she being carjacked? Like, what's it? Like, what could be taking her? And when the phone died, of course, I kept calling back. And even now, I don't like dialing and can't get an answer.
Yeah.
But, knowing that something was going on, and I was continually calling and she wasn't answering, I just, I didn't know what to do. So my college roommate was with me. She was doing the event, and she was in a panic because the phone wasn't on speaker, but she could hear that Maya was in distress. And so she started saying, what happened? And asking me a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I just stop. You pray, I think. That's all I could say to her.
Yeah.
And I went to my location. Maya put her location on my phone when she was in high school. And I was like, okay, at least I can find out where she is.
Yeah.
And I went to her location and I saw that she was at the top of our street. And I said, whatever's happening, she's at the top of our street. And so that's.
So how did you find out what it was?
Yeah, so I once I saw her location, I called her dad, and I said, something's happening with Maya. I don't know what it is, but you got to try to get to her because she's at the top of our street.
Unbelievable. I cannot imagine the terror you would feel on either side of that story, whether you're buckled into your car and you're being sucked out of the car and thrown 40 yards down Union, or the mom
having no idea what's going on.
No idea what's going on. And again, so Maria Kina, that was just a few minutes of her interview with Tina and Maya Grimes. You can only hear this interview on KMOX. The newsroom has an incredible special tomorrow night, Thursday evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It is a special 2-hour report on the terror, the heartbreak, and resilience of the people of the city of St. Louis when that tornado struck. But that story, Tia and Maya Grimes, I didn't know who they were when they were walking through the hallway yesterday because I saw Maria Kina with two women and they were walking down to go do the interview. And I am it's almost just like, well, really just like the destruction when you see it, how it looks like a bomb went off. Hearing their stories, it's almost hard to wrap your brain around what that would be like.
And when we talked to Carol Lenhoff-Bell at 10 o'clock, teacher at Clayton High School, her home was damaged, but, she lived very close to where the severe damage really happened and has been volunteering with her friend Allie, who you know. Mm-hmm. And Allie, in an interview recently, or maybe it was last year, had said that, they thought it was going to be just a couple of days.
Yeah.
They're going to go to this place, just going to be a couple of days. And then it turned out to be this just incredible amount of devastation, and they're still out there.
Yeah, and it took a while to figure out what was going on because...
And she had never seen that kind of devastation, she said.
Yeah. No.
Which most people wouldn't.
No, it's a war zone.
Yeah.
Unless you've seen a bombed out city, you wouldn't have seen that type of devastation. And I will just say, I remember that day because I was right where the funnel started, right where the funnel formed. I was in my apartment, and all of a sudden it felt like the air had been sucked out of my apartment, and I caught my breath, and then I felt like my head was going to explode. Like it happened all at once, like I like that. And then my head felt like it was going to explode, and I ran into the stairwell, and that tornado, the funnel was forming right above me, so I did not see the worst of it because it was about a quarter mile down the road where it touched down at Big Bend and Wydown, and then made its way to Forest Park and kept gaining strength as it hit the Central West End, and then kept gaining strength until it was an E3 when it hit North City. And I remember I called the newsroom, I walked out on the street, and I was talking live on the air with Michael Calhoun. I see trees down. I don't see any buildings destroyed right now. I don't know what it was because it wasn't technically a tornado at that point. I mean, I guess it was, but it was just starting. And there were massive trees down right next to my building. I had to climb over these trees to walk away from my apartment. But I didn't, that was just the beginning.
Yeah.
That was just the beginning of the damage.
I saw it. I was coming home. I was coming home in the afternoon. I was coming up the ramp on Kings Highway. I saw it over the park, and my instinct said, don't go right, so because that's where I lived.
Yeah.
So I turned left, and I still had debris hitting my car, and it was frightening, and I wasn't even anywhere near it. It was going the opposite direction of where I was, and, I feel pretty thankful that it wasn't worse, and where I lived, it just sort of, the edge of it grazed where I lived, So I saw trees down, but it wasn't bad. You go a couple of blocks north, and then you started to see some real damage. And then even more north of that is where the real damage occurred. Amy Marks Core's Chris Ranji. And as you know, gas prices through the roof. Absolutely through the roof over the last 2.5 months since the war in Iran started. When we come back, we're going to talk to Scott McFarland, formerly with CBS News. He is now a correspondent for Midas Touch. He's going to help us discuss Josh Hawley's gas tax proposal. Senator Hawley wants to suspend gas tax. We'll discuss that with Scott McFarland and more next on KMOX.
Every day starts the same way, and then it goes wherever it wants.
Life doesn't stop for Cardinals baseball. It just kind of runs alongside it. Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. We're talking real life, real stuff, and yes, a lot of Cardinals along the way because that's how fans actually live it. It's just like happy hour, man. We get together every day from 1 to 5. We have fun, we laugh, we commiserate, we complain. DGS 1 to 5.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Right now it is, you're not going to believe it. It is sunny and 69 degrees here in St. Louis. We're going to have a high today of 75. The weather is brought to you by Financial and Tax Strategies.
If your retirement plan is mostly what if and a little fingers crossed, you deserve better answers than that. Check out Wealth and Wisdom Saturdays at 7 a.m. here on KMOX. I'm Gary Goldberg. Call 800-966-1690.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Hey,
Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Lombardo Homes is known for quality, luxury, and thoughtful design in some of the area's most desirable communities. This season, we're continuing a limited spring opportunity, offering select enhancements designed to elevate your home and your experience. From a finished basement recreation room to premium kitchen and cabinet upgrades, or flexible options like design credits or closing cost savings. These offers are available in select communities for a limited time. Visit lombardohomes.com or stop by a sales office today.
Here in St. Louis, we take pride in supporting our health and our community. That's why more and more families are turning to Neovitin multivitamins, created by a local physician and made right here in the U.S. using the highest quality domestic and international ingredients. With formulas for men, women, and adults 50 plus, Neovitin helps keep St. Louis families energized, supported, and ready for life. Find Neovitin at your local Deerbergs, Schnucks, and online at neovitin.com. Neovitin. Trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Today, the Cards, the Athletics.
Ameren Total Access 745. First pitch 840.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
So this is the first of many visits we are going to have with Scott McFarland. You remember him from CBS News, fantastic reporter on the TV side. Now is the chief Washington correspondent for Midas Touch, and he's going to be joining us every Wednesday at 9:30, or rather at 10 o'clock. He's going to be joining us at 10 o'clock every week on Wednesdays, and now we are very happy to have Scott McFarland with us on KMOX. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. You're stuck with me now. Now you're in this thing.
And we couldn't be happier.
I tell you, I grew up listening to KMOX, literally listening to Jack Buck, like a lot of young people did. Transistor radio, Beneath the Pillow, listening to him call Willie McGee, Ozzie Smith, John Tudor, and Joaquin Andujar games. And I tell you, I'd be a little more enthusiastic if anybody on our team was hitting above 300 right now, but we have a winning record. We'll be okay with it.
Yeah, this is a fun team to watch. The enthusiasm of youth, Scott, has really carried us far.
Burleson's a great first baseman. I think the pitching staff's coming around. But if Ozzie Smith's available still, I mean, we can blend him in. He's still a pretty acrobatic guy.
I think it's he is in great shape at his age. I'll tell you that much. So
nice to be here.
Scott, we are very happy to have these conversations with you. And as I mentioned before we went to break, Senator Hawley here in Missouri is conscious of the fact that gas prices are through the roof, and they have been over the last couple of months. It's a dramatic spike in prices since the war in Iran, and he wants to put a pause on gas tax. How would this work, and what's the likelihood of it actually happening?
I wouldn't bet against it. There's a unique bipartisan coalition to getting gas prices lower no matter what it takes, because everybody is getting drilled on this by their constituents. So he might be able to kind of compose a group of Democrats and Republicans who can get this to the president. And the president seems keen on it, too. What Senator Hawley's bill would do is pauses the federal gas tax and the federal diesel tax, which is a big deal, too, for roughly 30 days, and then gives the president the power to extend and extend and extend unilaterally. That part may be tricky. I'm not sure Democrats want to give Trump the power to waive gas taxes unilaterally without Congress signing off on it. But the fabric of the idea, I think, is a possible winner. I mean, I'm not sure how much it helps to take 18 cents off the gas prices when they're up $2. It's not going to hurt, though, although it is worth noting that when you waive the federal gas tax, you drain the Federal Highway Trust Fund, which is used for things like keeping roads repaired, filling construction projects, and making it easier to drive.
Well, and you mentioned that 18 cents on average per gallon that you would be saving consumers. And I guess every little bit helps. It's, it's something. But with the diesel tax relief, would that go far at all in helping to reduce prices for shipping, for products that need to be shipped across the country and so forth?
That's the goal. I mean, that's obviously the goal. And if you drive down I-70, you see those diesel prices are more shocking than the unleaded prices are. And yeah, those directly impact what we pay for food, what we pay for things we order on Amazon. I mean, the diesel prices are what is truly a contagion into the broader economy. We saw the inflation numbers yesterday, up 3.8% from this time last year. That is kryptonite politically for the administration and for Republicans. They know that. They've got to do something to look like they got to get caught trying on this. And I think that's the most meaningful short-term fix. It may be the only short-term fix, although we could argue over whether it's actually a fix and not just a Band-Aid on a gushing wound.
Scott, this war is pretty unpopular among the public. They did not want to enter a war, and now we are in this, and there are various justifications that have been given as to why it's happening, but we're seeing the effects now. And we know the Republican Party, for the most part, will get in line behind this president no matter what he does. But are there what percentage of Washington would you say Republicans in Washington privately wish that we had not gotten into this?
It's a really good question. I think you diagnosed it well. Yes, the Republicans will support the president on pretty much everything right now. They're not going to defy him notoriously or provocatively. But I was here at the Capitol yesterday watching Pete Hegseth get questioned by a House panel and a Senate panel, and some edge to the questions from Republicans. Lindsey Graham, the kind of the war hawk and the Trump ally from South Carolina, says, "What in the world are you guys doing involving Pakistan in peace negotiations?" Senator Graham says, "I wouldn't trust Pakistan as far as I could throw Pakistan." And there were Republicans questioning the costs of all this. It was the Republican chairman of the House panel trying to drill down on what exposure do taxpayers have to this? Forget the gas prices. How much is this costing us? And they were dissatisfied they weren't getting a real firm answer. It may be early to answer that question. You know, the rough estimate now is $29 billion. Everybody, including the Missouri congressional delegation, thinks that's a low ball. It's likely orders of magnitude higher eventually. But here's the bottom line, and there's no way around this. Congress is going to have to fund this war. So somebody in the administration is going to have to come up here and convince people this is worth doing over the extended period. That includes Republicans from our area. Let's see how easy it is to sell them on that, even though they're publicly championing the president and everything he does.
Yeah, and Scott, one could make a very strong argument that that step should have been taken first. You build a case for a conflict with Iran. You present it to Congress, which goes a long way. I know there's skepticism among the public, but it does go a long way on helping to gird the loins of the public for a conflict if you have congressional approval.
That's right. Other than the phrase gird the loins, take the rest of what Amy just said, transcribe it. That's exactly what Senate Democrats are going to argue this afternoon. And I'll tell you what, guys. If somebody in the Senate floor says gird your loins, I'm going to give you both $100, and I'm going to walk out there with a bouquet of flowers.
Doesn't any of us really know what that means?
Just send it anyway.
Have your loins ever been girded? I don't know.
Hey, sometimes you have to.
Sometimes one must gird one's loins.
Scott knows. Scott knows. Trust me.
Yeah. But that is the argument we're going to hear today. I mean today. Senate Democrats are going to do this thing on the floor where they try to push for a war powers authorization vote. Another one. It's not going to pass, but they want to have the argument. And really, they want to articulate everything you just said, except the loins. They're going to say, if you had done this in the first place, this would have been easier. If you'd done this in the first place, you'd have had more American support, more congressional support. But now that I think about it, I'm giving this more thought.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will gird some loins here.
Yes.
I think
it's very possible.
Bernie Sanders, gird the loins of the public.
Scott McFarland, Chief Washington Correspondent from Midas Touch, is with us on KMOX. And there is another battle that is happening right now, and it's been playing out for months now, and that is the redistricting battle, where Virginia recently, the public voted for a redistricting there that would have favored Democrats, but the Supreme Court shut that down in Virginia. So there's this fight that's happening. What is happening here with the state of Missouri in light of all of this?
Missouri really has modeled this for other states that want to redraw their lines. I mean, they are about to change the political complexion of our state to a 7-1 congressional delegation, likely in November. You know, there are people making arguments that in what is going to be a potential wave election, nothing is safe, nothing is predictable. But in Missouri, they seem pretty confident it's going to be 7-1, and I think our state is likely to manifest that in January. But there is a race to the Capitol in southern states right now, and I mean a race. Tennessee redrew their lines after that Supreme Court ruling on congressional lines so fast. I swear I've been in rotisserie baseball league drafts that took longer than it took them to draw out and dilute an entire congressional district. Mississippi is trying to do the same. They may be able to pull it off, even though they've already had their primaries and already nominated candidates. Alabama is racing to delay their forthcoming primaries because they want to draw out another black member. South Carolina seems to have failed, but they gave it a shot. Louisiana, Florida, there's a race in the South. It's an absolute unmitigated monster that's been unleashed.
Scott,
both parties are now going to get in the game.
Louisiana had something like 50,000 mail-in votes already cast, and they're just getting thrown out, apparently.
Yeah, that's going to look like voter disenfranchisement, even though those voters can go back to the polls. And I think it looks like voter disenfranchisement because it is unequivocally voter disenfranchisement. Governor says it's acceptable, and the governor of Louisiana blames the Supreme Court for this. That may be dubious because the governor didn't have to throw out the ballots just because of the Supreme Court ruling. But this is going to start a political nuclear war. 50 states are going to consider doing this in 2027 and 2028. There's going to be redistricting every year in America versus every 10 years. And I don't know how they get the genie back in the bottle, but it's ugly. And ultimately, it was unnecessary.
So what do you think the midterms, it may be too late for anything to really change the momentum of what's probably going to happen there, but what do you see happening 2 years from now?
I think you have a California and a New York where there are even fewer Republican seats. I think you have a Texas and a Florida where they try to draw out even more Democratic seats. I think you have a complete dearth of, lawmakers, deal makers, moderates, brokers. All you have are people who want to go viral and dunk on the other side. At least you're going to have a large number of them. It's triggered a war. Maybe there's a political mandate sometime in 2028 to say, let's be done with all this. Let's unilaterally, or actually, let's all disarm and find a way to do this through the courts and fairly. But I wouldn't bet the farm on it. I think we have to gird our loins, for this is our future.
I can't decide. I cannot decide if we should keep going or end on that. No, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I've got one more because I'm fascinated by this. I've seen, and now it's escaping me who the sports commentator is who said this. I don't want to attribute it to the wrong person, but they suggested that, you know what, to punish the South, black athletes, after this ruling by the Supreme Court, should not commit to any SEC schools to play sports. And
we have members of Congress saying that now, too, just to absolve you. We have Congressman Mark Vesey of Texas, retiring Democrat Congressional Black Caucus member, says, no Missouri, no Texas, no Florida, no Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana State until this is corrected, because he says these schools these states want to draw out black representation and do away with DEI. They only want black people when they play football well. That's the argument he's making. It's provocative, it's controversial, but I bet it sticks with people.
Yeah, I'd like to see how that goes because, it's a hell of a thing to say. I'm not sure that that they're entirely wrong, but I'd love to see how that actually ends up playing out. I don't imagine anything is going to come of it, but maybe you have a handful of prospective athletes who, coming out of high school, say, okay, I won't go to Alabama. I won't go to Mississippi or Louisiana. I'll go somewhere else. I'll go to the Pac-12. Maybe they'll do that, but I kind of doubt that.
Yeah, and Scott, go ahead.
The response he got was twofold. A lot of engagement, a lot of people commented, so that was part of his mission, was to get a conversation going. But a lot of people, even sympathetic to his viewpoint, say, maybe don't put this responsibility on our kids. Maybe you should. maybe you shouldn't, but that is where the power is.
Scott McFarland, we are looking forward to our conversations and the loin girding and everything that we're going to be doing
There it is.
over the weeks. Every Wednesday at 10 o'clock, we will be talking to you, and we are so appreciative to have you in the mix. Thank you, Scott.
Anytime, guys.
Scott McFarland, Chief Washington Correspondent for Midas Touch. He's been with CBS News for a long time. Fantastic reporter.
Loins have been girded and Jerry's have been mandered. I'll tell you what.
Got a good show coming up. Well, I mean, remainder of the show. We're going to talk to Carol Lenhoff Bell, who is a volunteer. Her home was damaged by the tornado, but has been really doing a lot of work, as have a lot of other people in North City after the tornado. We'll talk to her at 10. Chip Carey at 10:30. Ross Chaffetz at 11. Big show happening here until 12 when the Gas House Gang happens on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings, up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Data centers don't wait, and neither should your supply chain. From power and connectivity to racks and critical power, Graybar brings the products and the experience data centers need now. And with deep inventory and logistics expertise, we keep projects moving from first delivery to final install. With hundreds of locations and a nationwide delivery fleet, we help you bring facilities online, on time, and on budget. Yep, Graybar does that.
St. Louis, are you ready to go Hardy?
I woke up on the wrong side of the truck bed.
The country rock hitmaker behind Truck Bed. Wait in the truck and one beer. He's bringing his No Holds Barred live show to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater June 5th. With special guests Cameron Whitcomb and McCoy Moore. Hardy, live, loud, and unapologetic. One night only. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do you hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call 314-569-1050 or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Summer is on the way, or should I say the heat in St. Louis, it's on its way. Be here before we even know it. If you haven't had your air conditioners checked and set up and ready to go for this cooling season, or if you were told you might need a new one, or you just think this is the time of the year, this year is the time to just go ahead and replace it. Prices are down, 0% financing is available. It's still the best time to call me. Don't put it off. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600 in Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was just at Staples. They're having a huge 40th anniversary sale.
40 years. Note to self, send flowers.
Up to 50% off. Save on chairs, paper, balloons, and more.
Balloons?
Yeah, Party City is now at Staples.
Surprise!
But the anniversary sale is only 2 weeks, so...
Quick, celebrate 40 years of savings at Staples with up to 50% off. Shop chairs, paper, break room supplies, and more. 2 weeks only. It's 5/23.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app.
Corey from Air Comfort Service? Why are you standing next to my AC?
I'm standing behind our work.
But it's 8 p.m. You're just going to stand behind my air conditioner?
Yeah, pretty much.
Could you turn off the sprinkler then?
Absolutely. At Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation, we take pride in our work. If you need a new air conditioner or HVAC system, you can trust we'll install the equipment correctly. Plus, for a limited time, qualify for rebates up to $2,600 and 0% financing for up to 72 months. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Amy, some sad news. Did
Yes.
you see that Donald Gibb has passed away at the age of 71?
I did not.
You don't even know who Donald Gibb is, do you?
Not off the top of my head.
My God, do you know who it is? Matt Pajeski, who likes to pride himself in knowing old things?
Well, if I had to guess, the name Gibb sounds familiar. Is he part of the Bee Gees or a relative of the Bee Gees?
No.
Was he on the Andy Griffith Show?
No. Donald Gibb played Ogre in the classic hit Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh.
And he also played Ray Jackson in Bloodsport,
Those
which
are-
is
those
the
movies are-
Jean-Claude Van Damme movie from the 80s.
Those
Both
are
movies
too
from the
new.
80s.
Yeah.
Too new for
Too
you?
new. Is Esther Williams swimming in it? I don't think so.
No. But
Interesting.
Man, yeah, so he passed
Oh.
away. Saw that news last night. I met Ogre.
Did you really?
He was an investor or something. He had something to do with this bar in my neighborhood in Chicago, and I was there once, and he was there, and he signed my T-shirt. I don't have the
And did he
T-shirt. I don't
sign
know
it
where
as
it is.
Ogre?
No, he signed it as Ray Jackson from Bloodsport.
That's awesome.
So I lost that shirt. Don't know where it is, but rest in peace to Ogre.
Well, Ranj, over the past couple of days, when I'm really sick of politics and news and all that, which is more frequent by the hour, I listen to this British podcast that is just facts and history and so forth. And I think I just learned about, and I don't know how I missed him, but I just learned about my favorite ancient Greek god. His name is Momus.
Okay.
Have you heard of the Greek god Momus?
I don't think so.
He is the Greek god of mockery, satire, and blame. And he, in the pantheon of gods, he was thrown off Mount Olympus for making unhelpful comments.
Unhelpful comments. That's great.
I was like, what?
You know, Momus, this is not helping.
He got thrown out of Olympus. Momus got thrown out of
What are
Olympus.
you going to do? Throw me off the mountain?
Says man who was thrown off mountain. I can't stop thinking about it. I was so surprised because they were going through all these Greek gods, like Momus.
Yeah, okay. Throw me off the mountain then. They did.
Isn't that awesome?
Perfect.
I bet that's your new favorite Greek god.
Momus?
Momus.
Hell yeah. I love that guy.
Thrown out of the
Did he
company.
die? Can a
don't-
god die? Can you kill a god?
Well, they do, and they come back because they're always eating
Well,
each
that's
other
not
and
death.
killing each other. At any rate, I just thought you would appreciate that.
I do. I love it.
You're
That's-
welcome.
Momus.
Thrown out.
Yeah, Momus, you're just... Either shut up or
What are
help.
you gonna do? Marry your sister?
What are you going to do about this? Oh, my God. I love it. Hey, when we come back, as we mentioned, we are getting closer to the 1-year anniversary, May 16th, of the tornado that tore through St. Louis. Many homes destroyed, people displaced. One of the volunteers, Carol Lenhoff Bell, is a teacher at Clayton High School, has been working on the north side. We are going to talk to her when we come back on 104.1 FM KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system,
she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
4 people surveyed by Bankrate.com say they're literally losing sleep because of worries that they may have not saved enough to retire. If you're ready to get serious about planning for your financial future, you could start by listening to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All of the All Financial Group.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. If you want assistance, we can also help you at that point.
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
It is 10 o'clock. We have sunshine and 68 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. President Trump has arrived in China, although the meat of the summit doesn't start until tomorrow when Trump and Xi Jinping take part in a formal banquet. The talks are expected to focus on the Iran war, trade, and U.S. arms sales to Taiwan. On Capitol Hill, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth faced a barrage of tough questions about Iran. We get more from CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth faced rapid-fire questioning over the Iran war.
You've achieved a series of tactical successes, but are on the verge of a strategic loss. You're talking about a strategic loss? Mr. Secretary? Disingenuous questions?
Including an exclusive CBS News report that Pakistan allowed Iran to use its airfields despite being a mediator between Tehran and the U.S.
No wonder this damn thing is going nowhere.
More than 75 Great Danes have been rescued from a breeder in Missouri. The move comes as a Newton County breeder is charged with animal abuse and neglect after the dogs were found with scrapes and sores, living in unsanitary conditions. A Pleasant Hill nonprofit, Daisy's Dane Sanctuary, has taken in half the Great Danes. The other half are being cared for at the Pleasant Hill Animal Shelter. The nonprofit is asking for donations and volunteers to help. A new study finds the U.S. is in a reading recession.
Researchers at Harvard, Dartmouth, and Stanford found reading test scores for 3rd to 8th graders only rose in 5 states over the last 3 years. Dr. Jason Nagata at UC San Francisco blames social media.
This constant stream of notifications and short videos or multitasking trains the brain to seek quick rewards, making it harder to sustain focus on longer or more demanding tasks.
Like reading a book. On the plus side, math scores were up over the last 3 years. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Missouri's education commissioner stepping down at the end of the month. Carla Esslinger announced her retirement this week during a closed-door State Board of Education meeting. From the KMOX Business Desk, United for Storm Recovery. That's a new initiative from the United Way of Greater St. Louis to help residents still struggling to recover from last year's tornado. About $1 million will be earmarked for ongoing and emerging needs. The Urban League getting $100,000 for its recovery center. 314 Oasis and Westside Missionary Baptist each getting $50,000 for their resiliency centers. And Home Sweet Home is getting $100,000 to help families get beds and other essential home furnishing items. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, we are going to have a sunny, breezy day today, but not as warm as yesterday. High of 73 today, 75 tomorrow, sunny to partly cloudy skies. Then maybe a thunderstorm Friday morning and a couple of showers and a thunderstorm on Saturday. But Friday and Saturday, 84 degrees. Right now, it's 68 degrees. The weather sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, your premier provider of fences, decks, patios, sunrooms, and more. Call for a free estimate, now offering 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Welcome back. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you. And as we've been talking about this past week, and you've heard the newsroom covering that we are approaching the 1-year anniversary of the May 16th tornado that devastated so much of St. Louis, from Forest Park to the Central West End to North City. And the cleanup is very, very much still ongoing. So much work needs to be done. And Ranj, I was first introduced to kind of some of the neighborhood cleanup, the Neighbors Helping Neighbors, through Allie Rand and her Instagram, which is very active. And Carol Lenhoff Bell has been side by side with Allie as they have worked to restore and help neighbors, specifically in the Academy neighborhood, just north of Delmar on Enright Avenue. And Carol joins us now. Carol is a teacher at Clayton High School, and like I said, one of the incredible Neighbors Helping Neighbors in the Academy neighborhood. Carol, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, as I kind of mentioned, that online presence, the Instagram presence of the work you guys have been doing along with your good friend Allie Rand in the Academy neighborhood, seeing just how hard hit that neighborhood was. Can you kind of maybe set the table on how your grassroots efforts started?
Yeah, they began the day after the tornado when Allie Rand, who you mentioned, and Wes Klaus, who is a mason by trade, were called over to Enright Avenue, just 2 or 3 blocks north of where Allie and I live. And a neighbor there needed, like Allie and I did, windows boarded up. And she went over there that morning with Wes, saw the devastation over there, and she never left. And so for the months, those first few months in the summer, May, June, July, every day, Monday through Friday, she was there with volunteers. The outpouring of the community, and not just like the St. Louis City community, but the St. Louis County community as well, just started pouring in. Volunteers were coming daily with her, and people were dropping off food. People were making donations, anything they could do to help. And then as the summer wound down and our neighbors on the blocks of Academy that we were helping clean up, their family medical leave was dwindling, and they were getting back to work. We moved the work to Fridays and Saturdays, and pretty much since September, every Friday and Saturday, weather permitting, we've been out there with volunteers continuing to clean up.
Carol, just to reset, how much damage did you see personally at your home? Because I know Allie had damage at hers, and you mentioned a moment ago that you were dealing with a little bit of it too, though we know just north of that was some real devastation, but you dealt with it yourself as well.
Yeah, so the street that I live on, my husband and I would count ourselves lucky. we had roof damage, window damage, some internal damage too as a result of the trees and debris flying into our home because windows were broken. We had to be out of our home for a little over, close to a month. And we're grateful for my sister and brother-in-law who welcomed us into their home and took such good care of us while we kind of shored up our home. And then we were able to move back in. But the rest of our block, I mean, there are people still on our block who are not back in their homes and won't be for a while. So we consider ourselves lucky, considering, and especially when I think about some of the neighbors we're working with over in the Academy neighborhood, who just whole homes are gone. So
Carol,
we're finding ourselves lucky.
Yeah, I've heard Allie talk about seeing Enright, and when they got there, that she had not seen anything like it before. The devastation that was there. How much progress? And she thought at first it was going to be something like a 3-day thing. They would go and help clean up, and then here we are almost a year later, and it's not done yet.
Yeah.
How much progress do you feel has been made?
I guess there's different ways I would count progress, right, or measure progress, I should say. The physical homes that are coming back are slow, right? It's out of the 40-ish families, neighbors that we've been working with, only a handful are back. I can count actually on one hand the neighbors who we've helped who are back in their homes. So that progress has been painfully slow. I think another way I try to measure it, just so it doesn't seem so daunting, is also just in how we've helped one another heal and how we've helped maintain hope and when it seems bleak. And so that feels that progress, right? That the healing and the hope that's been created through the volunteers and donors and organizations who've come out to help, that feels more successful at times. So I guess kind of just I'm trying to measure it in a couple different ways to kind of keep us moving forward.
Right. And Carol, just to give people an idea of some of the details on how you guys have been working, instead of, waiting around there, Allie for a long time was collecting like gift cards to Home Depot. So she could give them to people who were standing in front of their homes who didn't have time, who didn't have resources to just wait for months and months and months on end to see if government help would come. And she said, no, here are Home Depot gift cards, thousands and thousands of dollars of Home Depot gift cards that she collected and you guys collected to help hand out to families who had been impacted. You see the pictures on her Instagram of people in, it looks like hazmat suits, with the masks and the white suits as they go into buildings that maybe there's asbestos or mold. There are so many details. Oh, even homes that are being demolished by the city. You guys are going there to help save the bricks. At least let's save the bricks from these homes. So it is very, very personal and hands-on.
Yes, definitely. It is. I think one of the things that we've just kind of done is always shown up in whatever way the neighbor needs us. So when you talked about it means all different things. And referred to the hazmat suits. I remember that day, a group of WashU scholars joined us, and they zipped up their hazmat suits just to be safe and worked on demoing the walls of 2 homes. And their kind of motto for the day was work one day, save 10K. And it's because by doing that work, they saved the homeowners close to $10,000 because that was the bid to do the demo work.
Wow.
Sometimes it looks like, when I talk about when you measure the progress and the healing piece, I remember Wes and I one day were there with a neighbor who called and asked if we could help get some more personal items from their home. And this was around the time of it was winter when this happened. I distinctly remember. And we were pulling out some of their Christmas decorations that his wife wanted to save from their basement to have a little bit of home in this new place that they were staying. And I think maybe at the time it was, people might have been like, well, wait, like of all the things, like this is what they're trying to save. And I think that's part of this work has just been showing up for each other to do whatever you need to do at that time. Because what it felt, what that wife wanted, right, what that neighbor wanted that day was her Christmas decorations. So it could feel a little bit normal, air quotes, normal. And so that's kind of what we've just been doing is, we put out an all call to the neighbors when we're having a volunteer day and say, what do you need, right? What can we do to help? And we've built these fabulous relationships with our neighbors as a result who, are trusting us to come into their homes and treat them, with care, even though a wall might be down, a roof might be missing, they don't have windows. And so that's kind of how we've kind of always approached the work. Early on, Allie's motto was like good things every day. And when you're sitting in, kind of like you had mentioned, when you're sitting in an environment that is just devastated, to try to do something good every day, is helpful for me, right? Like who's also trying to heal from this, and for the neighbor who is, and so that's kind of what we've been doing.
Carol Lenhoff Bell, who is part of the tornado recovery efforts, it has been volunteering her time. As we get close to a year here, and we're just a couple of days away from the 1-year anniversary of the storm, what is still needed? What can government do? City government, state government, federal government? What can people do? What do you believe still needs to happen?
Oh, so I'll embarrassingly admit that before all of this, I didn't really know as many ins and outs as I do now when it comes to like the city and state government. So I'm not going to pretend to know that I know exactly how they all work. I know there's oftentimes red tape. I know that they cannot work as fast as us, who maybe are unhindered by that. However, right, I would hope that they show up. Right now, from our mouse hole, the city has donated dumpsters, porta potties, hand washing station, and they also continue to clean up the debris that we kind of bring to the curbs. And so that's what they've been able to offer us. I know they're moving into some of the helping neighbors with the rebuild effort. So getting some money into homes. I know that they're starting to demo the buildings that needed to be demoed. And so I would hope that they continue to do that. But one thing I'll take an opportunity to say is I hope that they do that, remembering that there are people living in these neighborhoods that need you to continue to see the human side of this. So Saturday, I'll give you an example. Is there time? Saturday, I was with one of the...
Go ahead.
So Saturday, I was with one of the neighbors, and a home was being demoed right next to him, and he was there with his entire family. He, his wife, his son, his daughter, and his granddaughter. And right next to them, that home was being demoed, and the mister that usually tampers down, right, some of the particle debris was damaged in the demo, and they stopped using it. And they just they asked him if he could borrow his water hose, and they just started hosing it down by hand. So instead of stopping and saying, like, this might not be safe, there's clearly a family living right here, they just went on with it. Like that. I don't want in the large scope of this, right? Because it's large. The amount of work that needs to be done is so big, to forget about the people that have already gone through so much, and then for you to knock down a home next to them and not think about the potential more damage you could do by not doing it safely. So that's what I would hope for all the folks who, like the city and state who are involved, and the companies that they're hiring to do this work, continue to do it in a way that puts that's human facing, right? So Red Box, the dumpster company, is donating all their dumpsters to us. So the city pays the dumping fees, but Red Box, right, gives like our work, like the work that we're doing every week, and the dumpsters. Like that's human, right? Like that's. So I'm not saying like give away your labor and give away your materials. I mean, businesses need to make money, but at a minimum, don't cause more harm.
Carol, thank you so much for the information. We will keep up with you and Allie. People can follow on Instagram, Allie Rand on Instagram, as well as Carol, CARROLL_LB. And if you follow Carol and Allie on Instagram, you'll get all the information you need for volunteer dates and volunteering to help the Academy neighborhood in North City. Friday, May 15th, Saturday, May 16th, Saturday, May 30th. Everyone is welcome, supplies provided, but make sure you follow them on Instagram to get critical information that you need if you want to volunteer. Carol, thank you so much for your time this morning.
No, thank you guys so much. You guys are keeping eyes on North City, and we need that in order for the work to keep happening. Really, thank you so much.
And remember that you can catch the KMOX 2-hour special tomorrow night at 8 p.m. It's a 2-hour special that starts at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, looking at the terror, the heartbreak, and the resilience of St. Louis after the devastating May 16th tornado. That's Chris Ranji. I'm Amy Markscores. Chip Carey joins us in a few minutes, but first I do want to tell you about the Only Facial. I am going to the Only Facial in a couple of days. I can't wait. This will be my third treatment, I believe, and what I've so enjoyed about the Only Facial is there's no pressure. It is approachable. It's a great way to feel like, okay, I know I'm taking care of my skin, but I'm not going to be overwhelmed by all the services and the choices out there. Go to theonlyfacial.com, learn more about their process, whether it's dermaplaning, microdermabrasion, they focus on exfoliation, then you get into the moisture and the massage to help your skin glow and feel younger, and not only that day, but in the subsequent weeks. And as you keep going back, you see that difference. I've really, really enjoyed it and have been so excited to have the Only Facial as a client, because I go and I'm noticing a difference with my skin. And they have a location near you: University City, De Pere, Clayton, Sunset Hills, Frontenac, Creve Coeur, the streets of St. Charles, and now Edwardsville. It's $125. That includes gratuity, no stress. TheOnlyFacial.com.
Running a small business is a daily balancing act. One late shipment, one price hike, one employee issue, and your whole month, maybe the entire year, could be in trouble. That's where LendSeek comes in.
I needed $100,000 fast to keep up with inventory demands. LendSeek had me funded the same day I applied. Between their AI platform finding the fastest deal and a dedicated funding specialist guiding the process, it couldn't have been easier.
Our AI-driven platform matches your business with the right program from over 100 funders, up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours. Don't wait until it's too late. If you've been in business at least 2 years with more than $500,000 in annual revenue, qualifying is simple. No collateral, no out-of-pocket costs, no hassle. From lines of credit, term loans to revenue-based financing, LendSeek is open for business. Apply in minutes at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Is your garage door past its prime? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Delden, Amar, LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renner's also hiring experienced techs and installers. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
With the new MyLowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Proudly serving St. Louis for over 100 years. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Just in the process of finding out what a horrible person Virginia Fox is out of North Carolina.
I was reading about hacky sacks. They're
you
making
too?
a comeback.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that seems way more fun than what I was just reading. God, she sucks. But anyway.
Me?
Not you.
Oh,
you're fine.
Okay.
I just ran across this other thing this morning, and I had not seen it before, and I was about to present it to Amy, and she said, "Is it the thing that I'm reading?" And then it turns out it was the exact same thing.
Independently, we had both found this and flagged it like, wow, this is interesting.
Super interesting. And it turns out that this is a study from 2023, but for whatever reason, it is being shared today. And it's about conspiracy theories and the types of people who are more prone to believing in conspiracies.
Fertile soil, they call it. Fertile soil for conspiracy theories.
What I believe is the most interesting thing, and there are 12 different things that this piece says you should know about conspiracy theories. And one of them is the personality traits that best predict if you're going to be a conspiracy thinker. The number one by far, number one personality trait by far, according to this study, that predicts whether or not you're a conspiracist is what?
Narcissism.
If you are a narcissist, it is a much greater factor than anything else, including neuroticism, openness, extroversion, conscientiousness, and agreeableness. So these are some of the personality traits. Narcissism is the one that is the best predictor of whether or not you're going to believe in conspiracies.
It's so interesting. It says narcissists are particularly prone to conspiracy theories because they have a strong need for uniqueness. They want to feel special. They're prone to paranoia, and they can also be remarkably gullible. And what's interesting is that tilting towards conspiratorial thinking, other personality predictors that tilt towards conspiratorial thinking are entitlement, low inquisitiveness, low humility, and victimhood mentality, which I think, to me, fall under a lot of the narcissist umbrella. Those personality traits are, but like you said, if you had to single out one, it is by far narcissism. And like you said, it way outpaces neuroticism even.
What's and I know that this isn't like a catch-all, right? It's not like if you're a narcissist, you're going to believe in conspiracies. It's not one-to-one. But it's interesting because there's a person I'm thinking of who is really falling for it. And they're not really an entitled person. Mm-hmm. They're not low in inquisitiveness. I suppose he's humble. I'm not exactly sure. And he doesn't really seem like a victim. He doesn't he doesn't have any of that stuff. So it's not exclusive to narcissists. You don't have to have this in order to become a conspiracy theory person. But I do think it's interesting, and it makes a ton of sense.
It does. And back years ago, gosh, this was 2019. Yeah, 2019. Back when they had the Amy show, the Amy Mark Scores show, which very short-lived, probably a little too niche. But at any rate, I did interview I think she was from the UK, but it was a sociologist and professor who was looking at conspiracy theories and had written a whole book on conspiracy theories. And one thing that she was talking about is that uniqueness, and people who feel like maybe things are out of control sometimes will lean towards a conspiracy theory because it's like an anchor. Like, well, I know this.
Right.
I know this, and people don't know, and I know this.
Yes.
And it's almost like an anchor when the world feels like chaos around them. So that was also a very interesting trait to have if you tend to fall for conspiracies. It makes you feel like, okay, I know something.
It's also worth noting that there's not really a political persuasion that is more prone to conspiracy thinking. It's just the types of things that you believe in conspiracies are different. So both conservatives and liberals are prone to it and kind of equally prone to it. It's just the subject matter is different. For example, according to the study, conservatives are more likely to have conspiracy theories about things relating to COVID or global warming or George Soros, stuff like that. And for liberals, it's about Trump deals with Russia and Putin and Republicans stealing elections and Trump cover-up symptoms.
I've seen like that a lot of that more Democrats believe that the assassination attempts are staged. That would be one of the conspiracies.
Yeah, I don't see it on this list of what they've put out there.
23, right?
Yeah, it was 2023. Yeah. So, for example, the cover-up symptoms, and I believe what they're talking about is health symptoms. Cover-up symptoms is like the number one thing that liberals believe in. There's some sort of conspiracy. Because they think his health is worse than it actually. And I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But that's one of those things. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
All of it. Chris and Amy on KMOX. We'll talk a little Cardinals baseball with TV announcer Chip Carey, who joins us when we come back on KMOX.
St. Louis is a baseball town, and the Gas House Gang talks Cardinals baseball. Ackerman, Ranji, Miklas, and Claves bring informed opinions and real insight. Smart baseball talk from guys who truly know the game. And every Tuesday at noon, it's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. Passion, knowledge, the best baseball talk in town. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon. We know baseball. KMOX.
Turning 50 doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about your health. That's why we created Neovitin Men's 50 Plus Multivitamin. It's doctor formulated to support your energy, immune health, and overall vitality. Plus, it's made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Take control of your health with supplements you can trust. Look for Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, or online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, made for men who keep moving forward.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Mostly sunny and breezy today. 71 right now, a high of just 75. Tonight, clear with a low of 48.
The new Haverty's Furniture Showroom is now open in Gravois Bluffs. Come visit us now. Ready to refresh your space with furniture that's built to last? The new Haverty's Furniture Showroom is now open in Fenton and Gravois Bluffs. Experience Haverty's regret-free guarantee for yourself and shop the latest in living rooms, bedrooms, and more. Visit Haverty's now in Gravois Bluffs.
Lombardo Homes is known for quality, luxury, and thoughtful design in some of the area's most desirable communities. This season, we're continuing a limited spring opportunity, offering select Select enhancements designed to elevate your home and your experience. From a finished basement recreation room to premium kitchen and cabinet upgrades, or flexible options like design credits or closing cost savings. These offers are available in select communities for a limited time. Visit LombardoHomes.com or stop by a sales office today.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Cards and Cubs. The rivalry returns to Busch May 29th. KMOX kicks off the weekend early when Tom Ackerman hosts a Redbird Roundtable featuring Aussie Smith, Al Raboski, and Matt Adams Thursday, May 28th at the Beer Garden at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. We're talking ball, enjoying a cold beer, and celebrating one of baseball's best rivalries. The doors open at 4:30. The Redbird Roundtable, Thursday, May 28th. Full event details are at KMOX.com.
I'm Cardinals infielder JJ Weatherholt, and you're listening to the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Now, the Cardinals Conversation on KMOX. Sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we've got Missouri covered.
All right, speaking of JJ Weatherholt, he's been Cardinals at this point of the season. We are halfway through May almost, and the Redbirds doing pretty well. It's time to talk a little Cardinals baseball with Amy Marks-Kors. I'm Chris Ranji, and now we are joined by Cardinals play-by-play announcer on the TV side. Chip Caray is with us on KMOX. Good morning, Chip.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Hey, it's super early. Well, I guess it's about 8:30 out there where you are. But what's that ballpark in Oakland, or rather Sacramento, like?
It's really nice. Look, it's a AAA ballpark. There are obviously some quirks and some things about it we're not used to that we see every day in the big leagues. But I really credit the A's organization and Major League Baseball for making it as comfortable as you possibly can. From our vantage point, the booths are great. You get beautiful sight lines. There's the beautiful Bay Bridge off to the right in downtown Sacramento that you see. They've got the berm, which reminds you of the spring training facilities, and the trees wafting in the wind. It's a very hitterish ballpark. It's a great place to hit, not so great to pitch, but considering it's a temporary 3-year pit stop for the A's, I think they've done a great job. It's a fun, lively place, and they're hoping somehow, some way to maybe be on the list for an expansion site here. They just bought a big parcel of land behind the ballpark, did the ownership of the River Cats. I don't know if that'll ever work out, but at least they're on the map, and at least Sacramento has shown they can handle having big league teams here, so caps off to them. Nice job.
Ricky Horton had some pretty funny memories and observations from playing when you're playing in a smaller park like that. He said as a player, it can feel a little bit like spring training, like it's kind of a mind warp, and you have to remind yourself, no, this is real. Mm-hmm. This counts. This game counts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you hear other places, other players and other teams come in and grumble about, well, these aren't major league facilities. You know what? Zip it and play. We were all at one point in the minor leagues and made our way through, and it's kind of fun for 3 days at least to go back and relive those days where you dream of being a big leaguer and dream of getting to the show and working so hard and trying to accomplish all that you've dreamed of to be either a major league player or a broadcaster or a producer, whatever your role is in our sport. So to get to go back to places like this for 3 days and relive that and think back to when you were young and 24, 25 years old and making your way in the world, I really enjoyed it. I loved our experience at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, and last night, quite obviously, was a lot of fun for the Cardinals with the win, too.
Talking with Chip Caray here on KMOX. Let's talk about this team, and I don't know if you want to call it the start to the season because we're getting close to, we're halfway through May already. I mean, we're really trucking along here, and this team is playing good baseball, and to a lot of people, it's been a surprise. Has it been a surprise for you?
I think so. The results certainly. Look, we're a quarter of the way through the season already, and usually the way it works is when you play well, the season flies by, and that's a good thing. I think what's been really, really fun to see is the culture that Ollie and his staff are continuing to build. He does such a really, really good job at what he does. Not just the X's and O's on the field and putting the right guys in the right positions to be successful. The manifestation of the will he's trying to create for this team is really, really fun to watch. He said from the opening days of spring training, we want this team to be relentless. We want this team to play hard for 27 outs. We want to play for the front of the shirt, not the back. We want to give our fans something to be excited about. And I think that his group has done that every single day. They don't always win, but they give you a chance to win. And they play the game the right way. They have to and do win games on the margins. They do so many of the little fundamental things that oftentimes are erased because of a home run or a 10 strikeout performance. They do those things well because they have to survive at this level. And the fact that his young players have bought into that, the fact that his young players can slough off a disappointing outcome in the final game in San Diego and come out after a day off and ambush the pitcher last night with 4 runs in the first inning tells me a lot about the culture, the character of this team, and where they think they can take this. So early returns, very, very promising. It's a young team. It's fun to watch, and they certainly make it interesting for all of us, for sure.
So I happen to be a pretty big fan of Oliver Marmol. I think he's a good manager. I think he does a lot better than what some Cardinals fans give him credit for. And that's the nature of the job. Sometimes you're just not going to win some people over. What is there something about him that you have learned over the last few years that maybe people who follow the sport either closely or casually who don't understand about him?
I mean, it would be paragraphs, Chris, but I'll start with this guy is incredibly prepared. There is not a situation that he doesn't think about happening during a game that he's not ready for. And I'll use the last game in San Diego as an example. The Cardinals had that game lined up exactly how they wanted it to go. They had their bullpen lined up. They knew the matchups. They knew when to put Romero in for the left-handed lane, and they set it up for Riley O'Brien, and he was one pitch away from winning the game. The casual fan might say, well, why did he put him in the game and he lost it because the manager put his closer? No, that's not how it works. The job of the manager isn't to win or lose the game. The job of the manager is to put his players in the best position to be successful. And the only way to do that is to synthesize all the information you have and prepare and be ready for the possibilities that present themselves. Ollie is as good as anybody at doing that. That's number one. Number two, this guy is a baseball lifer. He loves the challenges of playing, if you can use the term, shorthanded. The Cardinals are in a scenario this year where we know that they don't necessarily day in and day out go out with a team that could go toe-to-toe with the Yankees or the Dodgers over 162 games. But winning those battles and finding ways to win on the margins and finding those little tweaks and those little tells on base stealing and taking the extra base and forcing overthrows, that aggressive style of baseball is something that comes from his love of the game. And thirdly, he's a Cardinal. He grew up in the system. He cares so deeply about this franchise, and he knows the Cardinal way. He's embraced the Cardinal way, and he wants to see this franchise back on its feet and on its footing where they have a chance to win world championships. He knows that's the bar here. He knows that's what is the measuring stick for great Cardinals teams, and we're a ways away from that. But I firmly believe that the right guy is in place. He is ruthlessly and relentlessly willing to stay the course. He's understanding that there are no shortcuts to be taken, and in a situation where your job depends on the outcomes of games that maybe are beyond your control, I think that's really, really worthy of respect.
Well, Chip, that leads me to this, because I've heard some people suggest, well, yeah, this is good for him. He's got a young team, and this is what he's suited for. And if they had a veteran team, maybe a little bit different. I think that idea is, this is me personally, I think that is an overrated idea. I don't have any reason to think he couldn't manage a veteran team. Do you think this is the kind of situation where when these Cardinals young players start to grow up a bit and they have more experience, that they would need to move to somebody who's more established?
Well, I'll answer your question by asking one myself. Would you consider the 2022 Cardinals team a young team or a veteran team?
Yeah, it was a veteran team. A lot of guys who've been around a long time.
And he won how many games?
90, whatever it was.
93.
Yeah.
You know what makes a good manager? Good players.
That's right.
And the teams that have enough good players have really good managers. People forget Bobby Cox had some really crummy Braves teams and ended up in the Hall of Fame because they had a lot of good players. And those players grew up with him, and they instituted a system there that they followed through from A-ball all the way to the major leagues.
Joe Torre here.
Yeah, Joe Torre, right. He's in the Hall of Fame for crying out loud, and they wanted to run him out of town. So good players make good managers. Good managers also help make and mold good players, and I think we're seeing that synergy take place here. The one thing that all fans in every sport aren't really good at is patience. And Clint Hurdle, another terrific manager, former Cardinal hitting coach, said it takes courage to have patience. You have to see it through. And if you look and believe the weighted numbers, the Cardinals should be around a 500 team with the talent and the numbers that the nerds put together. The fact that this team is 7 or 8 games over 500, I think, is a testament not just to the players themselves, but this coaching staff and the hard work the managers put into molding this group of young men. So I'm a big fan. Maybe I'm biased, but I think he's the right guy at the right time for this team. And I think once this thing takes off, we're going to really enjoy the hard work that Oliver Marmol has put in, who, by the way, let's not remember, in his first 4 years as manager, Ollie Marmol has more wins than Tony La Russa had as the Cardinals manager in his first 4 full seasons, and we know how Tony's career worked out in St. Louis. Give the man time to do his work, and I think we'll all be really happy with it.
Yeah, it seems really interesting. A quote that stood out to me from Ollie is that this team needs to play near perfect ball to win games, and that's what they're focusing on. And what struck me is that every coach has the cliche about doing the little things right and having the good habits. But with this team, you're actually seeing it. And like you said, I think it is because of those things where they do have to be so near perfect that they are above 500 more than people expected.
Yeah, and it's fun, when you get buy-in, that's a great thing. But it's something as simple as watching a guy like J.J. Weatherholt. Okay, we didn't know what we had because he's a rookie. The tools are there, the expectations are there, but until he goes out and plays, you don't really have an idea of how it's going to translate to the big league game. We saw it a couple of times last night. The kid gets to 2 strikes, fouls off a couple of pitches, gets the count to 2-2, and then hammers a breaking ball and hits a big 2-run homer that breaks the game open. The fact that he takes deep at bats, that they get 29, 30 pitches against the starting pitcher in the first inning, all of those things speak to the relentlessness that doesn't necessarily show up in the scoreboard until the game's over and you look up, hey, we won today because we did this, and this very well. And so when you have buy-in and you see success, well, that success breeds confidence. The confidence breeds more success and more buy-in, and then that wonderful circle starts to roll down the road. And I think that's kind of where we are right now. Are the Cardinals the most talented team in the major leagues? Nope, but don't tell it to those guys. The only guys whose expectations matter are the 26 guys and the coaching staff that puts them together. The rest of the world can pound sand in that regard. They're proving that they can play at this level, and we'll see how far this wonderful run is taking us. As we said, we're 41 or so games into the year. It's really been surprising, and it's really been unexpectedly fun.
What did you make of Riley O'Brien's ability to bounce back after, a blown save against San Diego and then to come up big against the Athletics?
Yeah, it was great for him. It was great for the team. Riley's been so good this year, but that's the nature of his job. In the 9th inning of a close game, you make one mistake pitch, it can haunt you, and it did. But I think that was another test of something Ollie's talked about, right? You go into San Diego with 40,000 screaming maniacs, having a great time, and you give a really good team that thinks they can go to the World Series everything they could handle in a series that, quite frankly, the Cardinals could have and maybe should have swept. But you went toe-to-toe with them and split 4 games. You handed them the last one, unfortunately. But after the day off, O'Brien comes back, puts it behind him, and goes back to work. And that's another great thing that this team has a unique ability to do. There isn't carryover either from a great win or a disappointing loss. They are able to compartmentalize things, and maybe that's the key to having small man brains. We can put things in little boxes and put them away. If things don't go well, yesterday's over. We can't change anything. Let's worry about what we can do today and concentrate on the next pitch, the next out, the next batter, and the next game, and they've done that really, really well.
Chip, you've probably heard that fun fact that if you are 7 feet tall or over, that there's a 9% chance you've played in the NBA. I'm starting to think that if your last name is Carey, there's a 90% chance you're a major league broadcaster. Your sons, Chip and Stefan, they called a game last night. Are they doing the entire series? What is the situation
my son
there?
Chris. Yeah, thank you. My son Chris, who does some of the A's games on TV and radio, is here full time, and his identical twin Stefan is working the series with him on the TV side. They debuted last night. I think it's the first time ever that identical twins have called a major league game together. So some more crazy, goofy Carey family history. Really, really proud of both of them. They're terrific broadcasters. They're terrific people. And to see them get this chance, we're really grateful to the A's organization for giving Stefan this opportunity. In fact, it came from ownership. John Fisher, I guess, is a big fan of Stefan's work and wanted him to come and work with his brother, which is really, really cool and a wonderful compliment. But those two are very, very close, as you can imagine. And to see them do their thing together was a lot of fun. My wife, Susan, flew out, and she had her A's green dress on last night. What a traitor. Cheering for the boys and not the husband. But it was really, really a special moment, and one we'll cherish forever for sure.
Well, going to be a lot of pressure on their kids. They got to.
No, yeah, we keep waiting generation after generation, Chris, for somebody to be an athlete. We can't get people between the white lines. We get them behind.
You're all
behind
like
the,
6'9". What are you talking about? How has nobody? How has nobody made it to the league yet?
Yeah, I can't answer that. We've got another one on the way too. His name is Tristan. He's 17 and he sits at home on his iPad and does the broadcast too. So as I keep saying, we're like the common cold. You can't get rid of us. We're everywhere. So again, I'm really proud, really thankful, and it's fun at this stage in life to see your kids spread their wings and follow their dreams. And as we said, we're grateful to so many people who helped make that happen.
Chip, good to talk to you. Thank you for being with us.
Sounds great, guys. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Cardinals play-by-play on the TV side. Cardinals TV is what it's called. Chip Carey with us here on the Quiver River Electric guest line. And speaking of the NBA, the playoffs are going on right now. In fact, you've got tonight Cavs-Pistons. That's a big one, too. It's a Game 5, and the series is tied. And if you're going to participate in maybe a little same-game parlay, how about doing it with FanDuel? Because FanDuel has better payouts for same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. There are more ways to build, more value every time you play. You can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. Spreads, player points, threes, all of that and more. Build it all into one same-game parlay, and you can go for those bigger payouts. If you're betting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, only one place to do it. That is FanDuel. All NBA playoffs long, more options, and better payouts. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. FanDuel.com/Missouri. You should have that app by now. I've been telling you about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. It is intuitive, it's easy to use, and it is safe and secure. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Missouri Farm Bureau Health Plans, your health is our commitment. That's why we provide high-quality health coverage at affordable rates to Missourians like you. And unlike other options, you can apply at any time throughout the year. From individual and family plans to dental vision coverage, our plan options are designed to meet your needs. Together we care, together we grow, together we thrive. Missouri Farm Bureau Health Plans. Plan on us. Visit us at mofbhealthplans.com and contact your agent today.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery. Staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
If you're getting close to retirement, or maybe you're just thinking about retirement more in general, you're probably thinking about when can you retire? Will you have enough money to live on? You know, we all have retirement questions that, let's be honest, they're overwhelming and just can stress us out. But Steve Aul can help answer those questions so that you'll feel more confident about this next phase of your life. Check out his show, The Aul Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 and Sunday evenings at 6. Here on KMOX.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin.
Curative, that's a complex decision that involves what we call multidisciplinary care. So that involves a surgeon, a medical oncologist, radiation oncologist. So you need the expertise, and that's something that we have here at Siteman, especially geared for these esophageal cancer patients.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. Visit siteman.washu.edu.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
If you're not following us on the Twitter,
come into your house.
That's
and
right.
Bad things going to happen to you.
No more threats. We have our question of the week at Chris Amy KMOX. Question
I'm
of the
gonna
week.
come put coffee grounds down your drain, and
that's a bad thing.
And grease.
What
if you don't follow us on Twitter,
what happens if you put coffee grounds down the drain?
It will end up clogging. Yeah, clogging. All of it. It becomes one big clump. You don't think much of it. You're like, oh, this is fine.
Ever since you told me, and you've changed my life because ever since you told me about the drain getting cleared out and there were all these eggshells, I've been throwing my eggshells away. Because I used to put eggshells in the garbage disposal.
Wild that you did that.
They told me we could. Question of the week. What is the worst parking lot in St. Louis? What is the worst parking lot in St. Louis? At Chris Amy KMOX. It's not a poll this time. You just need to leave a comment. And I kind of have a feeling that Brentwood Promenade is running away with it. Although the Costco on Manchester on the weekend has gotten several notable mentions.
Well, I have not experienced that Costco for myself.
But you know Manchester Road. It's a woof.
I'll say most of Manchester, I do okay getting in and out of.
Really?
Yeah.
It's crowded.
Yeah.
It is.
I think the more west you get,
ninth circle of hell.
Once you get past 141 going west, there are certain stretches of it that are tougher.
Yeah, but the Manchester in Rock Hill and Glendale,
I have no problems
there's
there.
no turning lane.
No problems.
There's no turning lane, and so people stop and they have to make a left across oncoming traffic, and that whole inside lane gets backed up, and it just happens repeatedly all through Rock Hill.
Well, that's That's you, but you know me. I'm expert at getting out of.
That's me.
I am expert at getting out of parking lots.
But not in speaking sentences.
I am so good.
Yo. At Chris
Wow.
Amy KMOX, we want to hear from you. Otherwise, Brentwood Promenade's just going to run away with it. Make it a contest at least.
I just don't know who-
Riverport? That's a bad one.
Riverport's bad
Getting
too.
out of Riverport after a concert.
Better follow us at Chris Amy KMOX or you will be in serious trouble. When we come back, pickleball's been a thing for a while now, and there is an STL Major League Pickleball team that is here. It's called the St. Louis Shock. And the general manager and owner of the St. Louis Shock, Ross Chaffetz, will be in studio when we come back on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
There's one box that you'd run back into your burning house to grab. It's the box filled with your videotapes, film reels, and photos. Those sentimental, meaningful, irreplaceable moments. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago so that we could help families save their memories from being destroyed by floods or fires.
And it's not just natural disasters, Adam. Every day, videotapes and photos are slowly fading away, decaying, neglected in closets and attics.
Digitizing your old media stops fading, and preserving those recordings means they are safe forever. It's like magic, converting your shoebox of memories into digital files, ready to watch and share.
It's the only way to ensure your legacy is safe for generations. That's why over 1 million families have already trusted Legacy Box. Legacy Box is simple and easy, it works, and is safe. We'd love to preserve your family's collection. Don't wait, the risk is too great.
Visit legacybox.com/radio to save 50%. That's legacybox.com/radio to get started and save. legacybox.com/radio.
When someone tells me, Gary, I just want to feel calm about this, I usually say, good, that's fixable. Because calm doesn't come from watching the stock markets, it comes from having a plan. Let's build one together. Visit my website, checkwithgary.com, or call 800-966-1690. My show, Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock, here on KMOX FM 104.1.
An important message from S&L Coins. S&L Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to S&L at 544-3600. S&L Coins, 544-3600. Or visit S&L Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call S&L, 544-3600.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 11 o'clock. We've got sunshine and 70 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. The South Carolina Supreme Court has overturned the murder convictions and life sentence for Alex Murdaugh in the death of his wife and son and is ordering a new trial. Lori Levinson is a Loyola law professor. She says she's not surprised by the decision.
In this case, where it appears that the clerk of the court, Rebecca Hill, was making comments to the jurors and trying to sway their verdict, that is the type of thing that leads to a constitutional violation, a violation of the Sixth Amendment right to a fair and impartial jury, and therefore leads to a reversal of the conviction.
The case got massive national media attention and led to numerous TV specials and documentary series and podcasts. Murdaugh will remain in prison regardless after pleading guilty to stealing more than $12 million from clients at his law firm. Mayor Kara Spencer is pushing back hard against the police board.
Spencer says the board's demand for nearly $68 million more in city funding is, quote, clearly an intentional attempt to squeeze the city dry of every last penny, end quote. She calls the board's claim that city reserves and Rams settlement money should count toward general revenue and thus the police budget, quote, absurd, warning it would force layoffs and service cuts. Spencer was also questioning whether the lawsuit was legally authorized, saying the closed-door meeting where commissioners voted to sue was improperly called by the board's attorney in violation of the bylaws. A spokesman for the police department said in an email, quote, the executive session was held in compliance with the board's bylaws, end quote. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Today marks the second day of North St. Louis demolitions, part of the city's $10 million effort to clear houses and buildings destroyed in last May's tornado. Demolitions largely focused in the Ville yesterday. Today, efforts are beginning on San Francisco Avenue. From the business desk, 7 in 10 Americans oppose building data centers for artificial intelligence in their area. Nearly half are strongly opposed. That's according to a new poll from Gallup. Fewer than 10% polled are strongly in favor of having a data center near them. The grass at Busch Stadium just got greener. The entire field is being replaced while the team is away this week. Officials say it'll be done before the team returns to play Kansas City this weekend. It's the third time the field has been replaced during the season since Busch Stadium opened. The grass being used is a specific species or variety that can survive St. Louis's heat and cold.
Bright sunshine this afternoon, breezy and cooler than yesterday, but pleasant. The high 73. Clear and quite cool tonight, though 50. Sunny to partly cloudy tomorrow, high 75. Friday will start with a thunderstorm, then clouds break for some sunshine, breezy and warmer, Friday's high 74. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now it's sunny and 70 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. Life happens. Accidents, deaths. Make your estate plan now, or the courts will decide for you later. Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
You may not know it, but there is a Major League Pickleball League that is out there, and it is coming back to Chaffetz Arena June 4th through the 7th, and our St. Louis team, the St. Louis Shock, will be participating in that, and we have with us in studio today General Manager and owner of the St. Louis Shock, Ross Chaffetz, with us on KMOX. How's it going, Ross? Good to see you.
Good to be with y'all.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Pickleball is quite the discussion across the country. It's very popular now, and so I want to know, did you like pickleball before it was cool?
I like to think that we helped made it cool. My mom, as we were talking behind the scenes here, my mom was the one that said to my dad and I, if we don't buy this team 3 years back, she would kill us. So in order to avoid the double homicide, here we are. And St. Louis has a Major League Pickleball team. And not only do we have one, we have the best team in the world. We're the 2025 regular season champions and the 2025 MLP Cup champions. So looking to run it back and win a title again this year.
So Mom caused you to get on board. She threatened you, which, by the way, threats do work. Told you, Amy.
Yeah,
See?
Ross, you are not helping
See?
whatsoever.
So that worked. You got involved, and how much have you personally invested in it, emotionally invested in the pickleball league?
Extremely heavily. I mean, if you know myself and my family from our history with Billikens basketball, and you see us screaming and shouting and trying to trip the referees on the sideline, it's the same, arguably even more extreme for Major League Pickleball. And when we got into this thing 3 years ago, it was really just a hope and a dream. And fast forward to now, we've built this thing into the North Star of the league, and we're proud to be competing in the biggest league in the fastest growing sport. And we're doing everything we can every single day. And, it's evolved into a second or maybe even a third day job for me, but we're really proud of what we built. And, the commercial opportunities are really reflecting the growth. And we look back on all we've accomplished in 3 years, and we're really, really proud.
So you've done this in 3 years with the St. Louis Shock. But how long did Major League Pickleball exist?
Major League Pickleball was founded in 2021. So it was a child of the pandemic, if you will. Most people don't believe that, pickleball has been around for probably 30 or 40 years now, but it was the pandemic that really sparked the growth of this thing. People were sitting at home, and it was an easy opportunity for them to lay some duct tape down in their backyard and play a game that was social and socially distanced. And it just exploded. And the league started in 2021. I think they had 6 or 8 teams to begin with. And fast forward to now, we've got 20 teams. Us and the Orlando franchise were the most recent expansion franchises in 2023 until more recently Palm Beach. But yeah, the growth has been really, really staggering.
Yeah, it's so staggering that you're seeing tennis courts around the area, and I'm sure it's happening around the country, being converted into pickleball courts.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my hometown park. They've converted like half of them to pickleball courts. I know that in Forest Park, some of them have been converted too. This is really growing.
Yeah, it's real. And if you're a tennis player or a racquetball player, any sort of paddle sport player, first of all, I apologize for cannibalizing your court space, but I would encourage you to get on board now before there's no courts left because the demand is just striking. And, with demand requires supply. And, people have converted at an incredibly rapid pace from tennis to pickleball, and we need those courts. So if you're not playing pickleball now, we're coming for your space. So come join us. Get on the train.
A lot of orthopedic surgeons are really glad that pickleball is growing too.
Yeah.
Because as you said, it's grown so much.
Yeah.
It's pulled people out of the woodwork. Maybe some knee and Achilles replacements. But other than that, I mean, it really has exploded. I remember the first time I heard of pickleball, it was a friend's kid. So I didn't think it was real. I thought it was something they played at camp. It was 2016. And he set up a net in their family's hallway. And Miss Amy, come, let's play pickleball. And we played it, and we might have knocked over an urn with somebody's aunt in it. But other than that, that was the last time I thought of pickleball until it started exploding during the pandemic.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a two-pronged stigma to it. The first stigma is the name. Pickleball just kind of sounds silly.
Unserious, you would say?
But the second is, you think of pickleball, and until really the last couple of years, it was kind of viewed as an elderly folks sport and a way for them to get out and get active and hopefully not tear their Achilles or their ACL or whatever it may be. But, statistically, the average age is coming down dramatically. The average age of the players has come down 10 years just since 2023. So it's getting younger and younger. And if you look at our pros, the most dominant players on tour right now fall between 17 to 25 years old. So it really is a youthful sport. And the kids are changing the sport. It's getting faster and more electric and more energetic. And, our 2 star boys, when we drafted them, were 15 years old.
Wow.
And now here we are a couple of years later, they're 18 or 19 years old, and we have 2 of the top 3 males in the world. This year we just drafted a 12-year-old female.
Oh, wow.
So the sport is getting incredibly young, and it's really an economic opportunity for these kids. I mean, they're making, in some cases, $1, $2, $3 million for going college. We have a woman on our team, Anna Bright, we paid $1.23 million for. She's making more than most WNBA stars. So the financial upside and the economic opportunity is real here, and it's getting younger by the day.
So Major League Pickleball is coming to St. Louis June 4th through the 7th at Chaifetz Arena. We're talking to Ross Chaifetz right now. You can get tickets at stlshock.com. So tell people what they can expect for this event that starts June 4th.
Yeah, well, what I would say is whether or not you've seen professional pickleball, this is unlike anything you could ever expect. Whether you play it, whether you haven't played it and are just familiar with the term pickleball and want to see what it's all about, this is for you. This is going to be, in my humble opinion, one of the best family events in St. Louis this summer. What's unique about doing this at Chaifetz Arena is most of the other pro pickleball experiences, if you will, are in pickleball native venues. And for us to do this here in Chaifetz in a 10,000-seat arena really opens up a lot of doors to possibilities in terms of how we entertain folks outside of just the game itself. So the AV, the pyro capabilities, the sound, the fan experience, and the concourses is really, really unique. And so whether you're an experienced pickleball player looking to come see this at the highest level, if you're looking for a fun date night, if you're looking for something to do with your family, we've got 4 days of matches, June 4th through 7th. And at MLPSTL.com, you can get 15% off your tickets, whether you want a single day, a multi-day, VIP, or GA. We really have a lot of options for everybody, and the hospitality and the food and bev options make for a really good experience on top of just the sport itself.
I've seen it on, I don't know if it's ESPN, but on TV I've seen Major League Pickleball, and you're watching these pro players, And I think what struck me the most is how fast and intense it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fast, and it's fun. And I think that having that constant action, and you can get involved in the points, and then the next one starts and it's just as intense, is really, really entertaining. Like, the entertainment value is a lot higher, maybe if you're not familiar with the sport, than you would think it would be.
Yeah, and I would say the volatility of the pace is what's so amazing, because you could have points, a drawn-out rally for 2 to 3 minutes that are slow strategic dinking, and you can have a speed up at any second, and players could be engaging in what we call a firefight, which is essentially a hands battle 8 feet away from each other at the kitchen, where the ball is coming at you at 60 miles an hour, and you have milliseconds to react. So, pickleball has evolved into a game that honestly feels more like chess than tennis at this point. The strategic setup and the points and the way that things can accelerate in the pace of play is really, really exciting to see, especially in person. And another thing that's unique about Chaifetz is just the sight lines that you get, in a basketball first arena. You get viewpoints that you traditionally wouldn't get in a tennis format or in a pickleball facility. So it's a really unique fan experience, and it showcases the game in a very fun way.
Ross Chaifetz with us, and as you well know, Billikens basketball is great for that economy right around the area, and for St. Louis concerts when they come through the arena, and now this event. What does something like this do for the immediate economy of the businesses around Chaifetz Arena and for St. Louis at large?
Well, we're just helping to attract a new and a diversified audience. The fact that it puts us on par with some of the greatest, sports experiences and concerts in the world. We recently had Ella Langley here at Chaifetz. We have incredible from rap to WrestleMania to some of the highest profile tennis events you could ever imagine. So, our objective here is to just showcase the sport on the highest level and, help get businesses involved. We've got a broad array of partners, not only for the team, but also for the event itself. So it's an exciting way to, do what we can to play our part in invigorating the economy here, and to do it in a place like Chaifetz at a pro level, and to bring such a fun, unique sport to St. Louis is something we're proud of.
Does Major League Pickleball operate kind of like tennis in the sense that yes, you've got your season, but you're really focused on major tournaments punctuated throughout the year?
Yes and no. So our parent company, UPA, is actually the result of a merger of 2 prior pickleball leagues. So we're operating 2 leagues, or 2 formats, if you will, at the same time. We have MLP, which is the team-based format, where cities like St. Louis, Chicago, Miami, LA operate teams in a traditional, sports team model. But then we also operate a league that's called PPA. And PPA is very, very similar to the traditional tennis format, where players can pick their partners, enter a 64-team bracket and compete for a gold medal. So we operate both of those tours simultaneously, and the players on the PPA side, essentially anybody is eligible to register and play in PPA. And the players that emerge from PPA and become the dominant top 10, 20, 30 players are the players that get drafted by teams like us on the MLP side. So these tours really operate pretty cohesively and play hand in hand in one another, and we're fortunate that we were able to merge them and operate them under our new parent company, UPA.
To learn more about the St. Louis Shock, to get tickets, see the schedule, all of that, stlshock.com. We got Ross Chaifetz with us here in studio. And, we know that sports is such a big deal in St. Louis. I mean, we could argue that the most important things to happen here are Cardinals games, Blues games, Billikens games. Could this city support an NBA team, do you think?
I do. I think this is a sports-first city. That's why we brought pickleball here. We've seen firsthand the demand for some of the sports here. I mean, we talked about the Blues. We talked about the Cardinals. We've seen it when the Billikens were peaking in the early 2010s. We're seeing it now, where we're selling out Chaifetz for 8, 9, 10,000 people. I believe this is a pro basketball city. Last year, my dad and I led an expansion bid process for a WNBA team here in St. Louis that we were very, very optimistic about. We learned a lot about the league. We learned a lot about St. Louis as a market. We felt we were incredibly well positioned, especially the sweet spot, if you will, that Chaifetz hosts about 10,000, 11,000 fans. Unfortunately, we lost that bid because of a little bit of inside baseball. That team went to an existing NBA owner that they essentially just attached the WNBA team onto. But, if you look at the history of St. Louis sports, we've had pro basketball here before. It's thrived. And I think if you show up to Chaifetz, especially under this reign of Josh Schertz, you see that there's very, very strong demand for basketball here. And you look at some of the prospects that have come out of some of the high schools here. Look at Jason Tatum, look at Caleb Love, look at Jordan Goodwin. I mean, this is a basketball market for sure.
Is that something you guys have looked at, whether it's another WNBA team or an NBA team that you've talked to others in the area that might be interested, just to see if there would be a groundswell?
Yeah, I mean, look, as I mentioned, we led the WNBA expansion bid here for St. Louis a couple years back. I'm still incredibly bullish on that. I think if there was a WNBA opportunity here, we would love to lead that. I think we're the right people. We're passionate. We're very financially capable of doing that. The NBA, I want to be a little bit more cautious about because we recently acquired the Portland Trail Blazers. So fortunately, you can't own two teams at once as much as we'd love to. But yeah, this is a basketball-ready market, and I think on the men's or the women's side, pro basketball would absolutely be sustainable here.
I don't think Portland needs that team anymore. What do you think?
I think
it would be easy because we just got a direct flight.
Yeah,
Put them on
direct
the new direct flight.
There you go.
Bring them here.
Ross Chaffetz, good luck with this. It really is a lot of fun. I know so many people who are playing regularly pickleball, and I know that this is going to be a lot of fun. June 4th through the 7th, stlshock.com. If you are looking for tickets for it. Anything else you want people to know before we say
No, show
goodbye?
up and show out June 4th through 7th. Again, whether you're an experienced pickleball player, you've just heard of this thing and you want to see it at the pro level, at the highest level, I can guarantee you that Chaffetz Arena is the most interesting and dynamic way to experience it. So come check it out. If you're looking for tickets, 15% off at mlpstl.com. We hope to see you there. It's going to be a really fun experience.
Thank you, Ross, for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Ross Chaffetz with us here on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Why would life-saving care require a membership? In a real emergency, are you reaching for your wallet or your phone to call 911? And what if the member helicopter isn't the closest one? What if they don't carry blood on board? What if those differences matter? They do. Arch Air Medical Service is proud to serve Effingham and surrounding communities with life-saving air medical care. Our highly trained crews deliver advanced medicine in the air because when seconds count, capability matters more than a card in your wallet. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. Worried about cost? Here's the truth. The No Surprises Act protects patients with private insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You'll only pay your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. If you have Medicare or Medicaid, similar protections apply. Providers cannot bill beyond those limits. That means no air medical membership is needed. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Lombardo Homes is known for quality, luxury, and thoughtful design in some of the area's most desirable communities. This season, we're continuing a limited spring opportunity, offering select enhancements designed to elevate your home and your experience. From a finished basement recreation room to premium kitchen and cabinet upgrades, or flexible options like design credits or closing cost savings. These offers are available in select communities for a limited time. Visit lombardohomes.com or stop by a sales office today.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than two?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
You know the feeling. It's 2 a.m. You're awake, running the numbers in your head. Payroll's coming. A client hasn't paid. Costs just went up. and you're thinking, how am I going to make this work? That's where LendSeek comes in.
That was me. I had payroll in 3 days and money tied up in receivables. I couldn't wait weeks for a bank. I went to LendSeek, and within minutes, I saw real funding options. They were clear, upfront, no games. By the next day, the money was in my account, payroll went out, crisis over.
LendSeek uses AI to match your business with the right funding, up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours.
With LendSeek, it's not just funding, it's knowing you're covered when things get tight.
If you've been in business for at least 1 year with at least $500,000 annual revenue, apply today. No upfront costs, no prepaid penalties. Because in business, waiting isn't an option. Start ready, stay ready with LendSeek. Apply at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Today,
The Cards, The Athletics,
Ameren Total Access 745. First pitch 840.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Well, Matt found a thread.
Who?
Matt Pajeski.
Oh, that Matt?
Our producer.
Yeah, I know him.
Matt found a thread of, well, he called it first world complaints.
Yeah.
Which it kind of is. But the initial thread said, what's the most, oh no, my steak is too juicy and my lobster is too buttery complaint that you see people make?
Yeah.
And so I will say I have made these, very unserious first world complaints, like all of the streaming services, the fact that I have to log out of MLB TV, log back into YouTube, log out of MLB TV, and I had to go to FanDuel to watch the Blues, although not anymore. But, it was kind of a pain. I missed just, scrolling through all the channels on DirecTV. That is a very unserious complaint. Life is pretty good
really is.
if that's a complaint that I have.
I think if my all-time, and you know what it is, I have told you before, but my all-time greatest, the steak is too juicy complaint I've ever had in my entire life was in March of 2020 when I had too much toilet paper in my house.
Yes, you complained about that.
I did.
So
God,
much.
I have so much toilet paper.
Oh,
because I had, as I've told this story
I forgot about
before.
that. You
but
texted me to complain.
I did. I have
that you
so
had
much
too
toilet
much
paper.
Toilet paper.
And I'm like, do you need some? Because I have so much. For people who have not heard this before, I don't like going to the store to buy toilet paper. I just don't like buying it. I feel embarrassed, even though we all have to do it. This is really stupid. I know this is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel embarrassed buying toilet paper. I feel embarrassed having it in the cart. And I feel even more embarrassed when it's one of only a couple of things that I'm buying. Because I had to go. Yeah, that's what I think. I think people are looking at me like, oh, having a problem today,
You ordered bananas and toilet paper.
Yeah, right? So, and hot coffee, a lot of coffee. So I buy it online from Amazon.
Yeah.
And I have it delivered. Because I just like it to show up. But when it comes, it's like in bulk.
Yeah.
And so in February of 2020, I had forgotten to skip the upcoming delivery because I had a ton of it already from the previous time.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot. And then one day it showed up at the house, another box. I went, damn it. I have these 2 full boxes of toilet paper in my house. And I was about to return it, which is stupid. And then COVID hit, and then all these people were rushing to the stores to buy.
You had it.
And I had so much.
That's.
I was like Dusty in Three Amigos with the water canteen.
He throws it on the
I
ground.
was Scrooge McDuck diving into the coins.
Well, there are some pretty funny ones, although I don't know that any of them beat too much toilet paper. One commenter said, the complaint, I have literally nothing to watch on Netflix, HBO, or Hulu. Well, I'm so sorry that the entire history, they go on, of human cinema is currently organized into a digital library at your fingertips, and nothing is stimulating enough for your 3-second attention span today. Truly a tragedy for the ages. We just heard people complain yesterday about having nothing to watch on Netflix.
Well, it is amazing that you have access to everything. Anything you want to watch except for some stuff that's out in theaters right now, you can watch. You don't have to go anywhere to watch it. You can be right at home and do it.
This one, DoorDash costs too much. Listen, blanker, just don't use it. We grew up with pizza and Chinese, and that was it. You think they're going to deliver Cheesecake Factory from 30 minutes away and 5 p.m. rush hour traffic for free? Get real.
I love it. If you have any of these first world complaints, they call it, just absolutely ridiculous complaints, let us know. 314-436-7900. What's yours, Pajeski?
Oh, my first world complaint? I don't know.
You don't have one?
No. I got to think about it. Can I think about it?
Yeah, you can think about it. Here's one. I'm bored in my high-paying job, and I need to find purpose.
Oh, my God.
This one says, my daughter didn't like the mac and cheese at the restaurant because it was too cheesy.
What?
Too much cheese,
Come
mac
on,
and cheese.
kid.
Yeah.
That is a... Can you imagine saying something like, I got too much money. I have too much money, and I don't even know what to do with all of it.
No. Here's one time I saw a Yelp review for a bagel place, and the complaint was they put way too much cream cheese on it.
What are you talking about? That's the best.
Yeah.
That is the absolute best when they put on too much of the cream cheese. They never give you enough. That's what I would say. If you have a first world complaint, 314-436-7900, you can text us. Or you can leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app.
I thought certainly Matt would have one. You seem like a guy rife with these.
I'm so grateful for everything around me. It's you people that need to be grateful.
I'm pretty grateful.
Me too.
You are not.
What am I ungrateful about?
Everything.
Like?
Netflix.
They
don't have the right options for you.
Netflix?
Yeah.
I don't mind Netflix. I'm watching my favorite show on Netflix right now. I haven't caught up with the new season of Love on the Spectrum, but I'm getting there.
This person says Los Angeles doesn't have the seasons. Oh.
Okay.
Greatest city in the world doesn't have the seasons.
That would be, for me, I like the seasons.
I would complain about that because I love seasons.
But that's like, isn't LA, San Diego, but at least that part of California is like the best weather ever. Just
That's what they say.
Sunny, perfectly.
But it does get
70 degrees.
I'm pretty sure in LA it gets hot, like really hot. San Diego, I think, stays 70 all the time.
We have a specific text for Ranj. It says, first of all, you, Ranj, need to get wet wipes, and you'll never go back, and you'll wonder why you were in prehistoric times using TP all your life.
Thank you for that, and I hear you. I have had them before, but they really aren't great for your system, for your plumbing. I know they'll say flushable, but they can cause some massive problems, depending on how your pipes are set up. Because I had them at my place in Chicago, and because we were in a basement, the bathroom was in a basement.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's something about if the pipes are lower than the rest of the house. I don't really quite understand it, but they will clog, and a flood happened in our basement.
You know what? A lot of our conversation this morning has been around clogged pipes.
I think I thought of a first world complaint.
Okay.
My dishwasher is only a half dishwasher. It's not a full-size dishwasher, and it is the bane of my existence. I do a load of dishes a day because I can't fit all of them into this tiny little half dishwasher.
That's pretty complainy.
Well,
you sound like a whiny, spoiled little kid right now.
I mean, other people are probably hand washing every single dish if they don't have a dishwasher.
I have one now that I just thought of. It's very minor.
Okay.
My refrigerator is too close to the wall. So when I open the one door, it bangs up against the wall, and I don't care for that. I don't get to open it as wide as I want to.
Oh, I can see how that would be slightly irritating.
It's a little annoying.
Here's one. Someone complains about when the golf course is cart path only.
Oh my God!
You have to
you
drive.
have to walk 30 feet to your ball. Yes. Quit complaining.
I hate when the golf course is cart path only.
That's ridiculous.
That reminds me of something I saw online of this guy working in an office complaining that, the average blue-collar worker has no idea how hard it is for me to get up and walk to the printer to pick up something. And I agree with that. That does suck. It's down the hall. It's so far away. I got to pick up that paper I printed off the printer way over there.
And now your paper is right around the corner from where you sit. Is that too far, do you think?
It's still far. You got to get up, walk.
Remember, you used to have to copy it by hand. See, now you're doing
You used to have
great.
to chisel it.
That's right.
You used to have to
Didn't even
chisel.
use to be paper.
What if you had to chisel our rundowns every day?
Wow. We have a short show. I don't want to chisel all that.
Everything will just have a code letter. Let us know what your complaint is. 314-436-7900. Go ahead and text it in or leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app. It is Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Some shows are about sports. Some shows are about nothing. This one's kind of both.
So the show's not really a sports show per se, it's just a show. Glover here, we talk about whatever's happening, life, work, random stuff. And yeah, the Cardinals always find their way in. I'm a lifelong fan, love going to the games, love supporting the team, and love hanging out with you guys.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting, the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Beautiful, sunny, and warm. 72 right now, a high of 75 tonight. Not a cloud in sight. The low today will be 48 degrees.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner of Timberline Professional Tree Care. The weather's warming up, flowers are blooming, and it's time to get back outside and start thinking about your trees. When you reach for your phone to call a tree contractor, we hope you'll give Timberline the opportunity to earn your business. Timberline is locally owned and operated and fully dedicated to delivering the best overall customer experience while providing the highest quality care for your trees. Every one of our crews includes at least one ISA-certified arborist on site, not just in the office, but right there at your home, so you can be confident the work is done safely, correctly, and always with your tree's best interests in mind. From planting and fertilization to pruning and removal, we're committed to excellence in everything trees. So when it's time to make that call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Today,
the Cards, the Athletics.
Ameren Total Access 745. First pitch 840.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Well, all three of us in this room, all three of us losers, recently moved in the past year.
Yeah, past year.
Yep. And I believe we all
in
changed.
with each other. We live together now.
We do.
Three Stooges style.
Well,
Same
Matt
bed, all
brought
that.
up the fact that he has 3 couches.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, there's 3 of us.
That's right.
And I mean, the next thing you know, obviously, we're all living together.
In the living room, the bedroom completely unoccupied.
That's right. But we all moved to 3 different neighborhoods. And I will say, when I first moved in, I had really nice grass of no consequence of any of my actions. It was just, I guess they were getting ready to, sell the house, and there you go. They have nice grass. And I think that's why some of my neighbors talk to me. But I talk to a few neighbors, and I see my neighbors out and about. I definitely talk to them more here now that I'm in Kirkwood than I did in Clayton. But I still don't really know my neighbors. I don't have their number. I can't like text a neighbor and say, hey, can you make sure the door's closed or what have you. But here's the thing. Americans, especially young Americans, are spending more time at home, but less time with their neighbors. In 2012, it's not that long ago, in 2012, 51% of young Americans regularly engaged with neighbors, according to AEI. Today, that number has plummeted to 25%. So just 25% of young people, which
18
would
to
be
29.
18 to 29, socialize with their neighbors. Now, by contrast, 56% of seniors socialize with neighbors, and more broadly, 59% of Americans chatted with neighbors a few times per week in 2012. That number is down to 41. So all age groups have dropped, but young people, that number has dropped the most. And I will say, I love knowing my neighbors, and I need to make more of an effort to meet them. I think it's hard because where I am at, there are a lot of families. And so kids naturally help form social circles. I don't have kids. So I'm not really going to the same group events, the same, baseball practice and schools and so forth. So I have to be very, very intentional to meet my neighbors.
And I am a very selectively social person. I feel like I need to be in a particular environment where I want to actually talk to people. I used to be more talkative to more people, but the older I get, the less I want to just be, freewheeling about it. I don't
need close friends, but don't you kind of want to be able to call and know a neighbor well enough that you can call them up and say, hey,
yeah, and I
think
have
I
one.
left this sprinkler on.
I have one. But there's, okay, this is going to sound really awful, but I used to have, and I still do, I guess, have this thing where if I'm getting on an elevator, I really would like to be on it by myself. And
Okay.
if I see other people on it, unless I have no choice but to get on right then because it's crowded and, no matter what I do, I'm going to have to be on with people,
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Okay, but to be fair, you don't have
Or I'll push that close button real fast so nobody else can get on.
Did you do that in your old building? Because you don't have an elevator
Yes.
now.
Yes, correct. Yes, or if I'm in a hotel, I do it now.
Okay.
And that is now transferred to neighbors, where and I'm living in an apartment building, and I had a bunch of neighbors in my old building, and if I heard somebody coming out of theirs and I was about to come out, I would wait.
Yeah, I know. I do that too.
Okay, like I would just wait till they pass by, and then I would come out because I don't want to be on the elevator with them because
I
they're
do
going to start
think
to
that
talk
is
to me.
more of an apartment mentality than a house in a neighborhood because
Sure.
I naturally had that a mentality too in my apartment. You kind of just, because you don't want to get stuck every time you walk out the door.
And now I have a talkative neighbor who lives directly next door to me. Well, I have two. I'm not going to give anything away, but there's one fella who he really wants to have a conversation with
Yeah.
you. I know he does. And so if I see him out there, I'm like, damn it, I got to wait a little bit. Or if he comes out of his door and I'm in my car and I've just parked, I feel like I have to wait to get out of the car or pretend like I'm on the phone and I can't get out yet if he's outside hoping it goes away because I just don't want to have a conversation. The only thing about this, so it's hypocritical of me to see this number of younger people 18 to 29 where there's like a 26% decrease in the amount of socialization they're doing and think it's a bad thing because yes, it's hypocritical of me. However, I feel like I'm an outlier. I don't think most people are like me. I think most people do want to talk to their neighbors.
Yeah, and
most
especially
people,
at your age.
right.
Because I will say, my neighbors and then like my other friends who live in, regular neighborhoods in Baldwin or Chesterfield or even Soulard, if you are a family and you have kids, I feel like you are way way more likely to know your neighbors, be friends with your neighbors, and people at our age generally have families and kids.
But here's where the number for young people bothers me, because I have very little confidence that my hope is that they will change over time.
Yeah.
And they will become more social with others. But we've seen, post-pandemic and with social media, kids, younger people becoming more and more and more isolated from everybody else. There's that goofy kid, the clavicular guy, who is popular for some reason, and I don't understand it because he is supremely stupid. If you've ever heard him speak, he has no thoughts in his head. And this guy was asked that question about, he was talking about younger people and, people his age, and how going to bars and socializing and going to the bar on Sunday to watch football with your friends, that's dumb. That is a dumb activity, and you should be at home reading about something. I don't know, whatever he was talking about. And that mindset, I know he is an outlier, or he is an extreme example of it, but it does, according to the research, it does seem like younger people are more and more like that. They're not going to bars.
So,
they're not hanging out with friends as much, which to me will be a problem down the road. If we are a more antisocial society, then I think we're going to have many more problems. I'll probably be gone by then, but I'm just thinking about the folks who are after me.
So here's what I think, at least I hope, and maybe I'm just wish casting here. I do think the generation that got screwed the most is Gen Z, because they went through COVID during formative years, whether it was, kindergarten to grade school and even to college, although I guess you might be just a really, really young millennial. But I think Gen Z, that was the onslaught of social media. That was masking up, isolating from people at the same time that you can have what AEI, Daniel Cox, the head researcher at the survey center at AEI, said they're entertainment bunkers. That's what our homes have become. You can stream, scroll, get directions, and find recommendations without ever talking to someone or knocking on someone's door. And they said, in previous generations, if you sat around your apartment long enough, you're going to get stir crazy. You got to go out. You want to talk to people, be social. But because we have trained Gen Z to not only hunker down in their entertainment bunkers, but also took some of their formative socializing years out of school, out of social circles, even masking up so you're not reading facial expressions, can really hamper that development. And I have hope for Gen Alpha, and I kid you not, it's because of the Hacky Sack article I was reading in the New York Times, where Gen Alpha is getting a little fatigued with screen time, and they've, quote unquote, discovered hacky sacks. I think they said they're calling it the Christopher Columbus generation because they're discovering
things
everything
that have already been discovered.
Yes. But
where people have already been.
They've discovered hacky sacks, and they said people just want more time. And I think as more schools start implementing phone bans, school bell to school bell, I think if they do that, there actually might be more hope for Gen Alpha and the subsequent generations, because we realized we really did a horrific disservice to Gen Z with unleashing social media technology at the same time as COVID.
And you know what? It's not just the tech bros, the tech people who came up with all of these things and pushed it out there and created the algorithms to make it so addictive. It's not just them. It is also on parents. Parents can say, hey, you're not going to be on social media all night. You're not going to be doing this. You're going to spend time away from your screen. You're going to hang out with us. You're going to go hang out with friends. You're going to have friends over here, and you're not going to be on screens. You're going to do stuff. Go outside, whatever. Parents could do that if they want to, but I know it becomes tougher when you're inundated with it. It's kind of like if you live in an area where there's nothing but fast food around you, people are very likely going to eat a lot of fast food because it's close, the proximity of it. Same thing with social media, but there is a little personal responsibility that goes with it.
It's interesting, Axios, it was Axios reporting on this AEI research, and they note, hey, this matters not talking to your neighbors matters, because without casual conversations with neighbors who are often from other races or have different religions or political ideologies, people risk becoming more isolated and more dependent on superficial, algorithm-driven digital communities.
And you don't really learn about other people having different viewpoints than you, because you end up, it's easier to be in your silo online than it is to be with a group of friends. Because if you're doing it right, you're going to have a bunch of different friends that have a bunch of different ideas about how the world should be. And that is the way it should be. Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji. Texter here says that my neighbor is probably listening now to me saying I don't want to talk to him. Not you. I'm not talking about you. So don't worry about that. It's the Chris and Amy Show. Gas House Gang is coming up at 12. Tom Ackerman and me here on KMOX talking Cardinals baseball.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Is your garage door past its prime? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Delden, Amar, LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renner's also hiring experienced techs and installers. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs. So this is not the time for I hope it works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines can impact your returns, dealing with issues like taxes, outliving your money, and long-term care. Retirement Simplified, May 19th and 21st. It's complimentary, but you must qualify to attend. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Pretty big week for golf happening this week, and right now, all FanDuel customers can get two 30% profit boosts to use before the big golf tournament begins later this week. In fact, that's happening tomorrow. You can use those profit boosts on top finishes like top 5, top 10, top 20, and more. And you can back the golfers you think are still going to be in the mix on Sunday, because in a tournament like this, it is not just about who wins the whole thing. It is also about who stays near the top, and it's a great way for you to get in on the action with FanDuel. If you have not gotten the app yet, what have you been waiting for? FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. As I have told you before, the app is easy to use. It is intuitive. It's got all the information you need on it to make the decisions that you would like to make. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game with FanDuel. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cards and Cubs. The rivalry returns to Busch May 29th. KMOX kicks off the weekend early when Tom Ackerman hosts a Redbird Roundtable featuring Aussie Smith, Al Raboski, and Matt Adams Thursday, May 28th at the Beer Garden at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. We're talking ball, enjoying a cold beer, and celebrating one of baseball's best rivalries. The doors open at 4:30. The Redbird Roundtable, Thursday, May 28th. Full event details are at KMOX.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Colonel Ripper watching us on YouTube. Prolific messenger. You can send us messages on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Find us KMOX News. That's where we are on the YouTube account and the Facebook account where you can watch the show live. And for Gas House Gang, it's KMOX Sports. So you should be able to find it. Anyway, Ripper says that in 20 years, Chris, meaning me, will be the crazy cat lady in my neighborhood. So it'll have to be a different animal because cats are not great. Cats are... You might as well not even have a pet if you have a cat.
I can't take that kind of rejection. You know what I mean?
They just...
I don't want to be rejected by my cat. I get rejected by the texters.
If you're going to have a pet that is indifferent about you, it needs to be one that's in a glass bowl. Fish are indifferent about you until you open the lid to feed them. If you got a lizard, it's probably the same thing.
Yeah, fish are pretty indifferent.
Fish their brains aren't big enough to know.
Cats are actively scheming against you.
I agree with that.
That's what's hurtful. We have a 618 texting. We were asking for your first world complaints. This guy is sick of all the lawyer commercials on KMOX because it makes them feel like they're a failure because they don't have the need for a lawyer to defend them. That's from Bob.
So you'd only feel good if you were going, if people were coming after you, then you'd feel more full of worth. Is that what they're saying?
I guess so. It says, makes me feel like I'm a failure because I don't have the need for a lawyer to defend me. That's what Bob said.
I don't think that you need to have. I don't think you want to be involved in a lawsuit. Do you want to be involved in a defamation suit?
There is an element of drama and importance.
Yeah, but there's also discovery, and you don't want them to know all the stuff you're doing.
Speaking of discovery, Ranj, a 435, you were talking about all of your toilet paper, how you complained you had too much toilet paper. A 435 says a bidet will change your life.
So, yes, I agree with that. I would like to, but now you have to install them, and I don't feel like installing it.
They have easy ones. Not the separate toilet bidet, but the add-a bidet.
Correct. I think it is when you compare us to other developed countries, it is weird that we just use paper and wipe and be done with it.
Well, because you
know
wouldn't
what I mean?
clean anything else that's muddy.
Correct.
With a dry
Correct.
towel.
Correct.
I didn't have to say muddy.
Correct.
Well, like if you
Dirty.
drove your Jeep through the mud,
That's right.
you're gonna need water.
You don't just take dry towels and rub it off. It's true.
Ew.
I know. Well,
Muddy.
Amy started.
No, that's a real. I was trying to give an analogy.
That's right.
A little too real.
Matt, do you have any final complaints since this was your idea?
No.
What's your idea?
Besides you two people? No, I've got nothing. I'm very grateful.
You don't like it when people break the rules.
He's a rule follower.
Some rules are meant to be broken.
Like
but
social contracts. You're very into the social contracts.
Can I ask you this? Are you one of those people who doesn't like food on their plate to touch?
No.
Okay.
I like a little mix. Like Thanksgiving, load that stuff up. Have everybody intermingling. It's all right on that plate.
That sounds good.
Have your green bean casserole say, hey, how you doing to the mac and cheese?
Okay.
Yeah, they can touch.
That's the only time he likes that. He doesn't like it when things touch otherwise. Texter says cats may be indifferent, but dogs eat their own poo.
Well,
Not all dogs.
Make your dog not do that.
Yeah, you can teach your dog not to do it. At least your dog has personality.
Your dog loves you.
Every cat's personality is. "Nyeh." That's it. Their whole personality is. "Nyeh.
I don't need you.
I don't need you." "Nyeh." Cat. Awful. Listen to the show tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And if you are just so tired of not having us, you can listen to the podcast. Listen to the show again. It's on the Odyssey app, iHeart app, wherever you get your podcast, KMOX.com. We'll be back tomorrow. Major Garrett is going to join the show because it's a Thursday. But the Gas House Gang is next. We'll talk about the Cardinals' win last night. They continue to play good ball. Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji, Gas House Gang, next on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Loins have been girded and Jerry's have been mandered.